I just learned about the whole Lucari thing. Jinkies. So for like about a year or so, I was very offline. I set out to leave these four walls of the old loony bin more often to go breathe in the fresh air and really appreciate the Lord's land out there in the real world. So I was missing a lot of like the happenings in the internet space and all the drama for the most part. But over the last month or so, I've fallen off the wagon. I put the needle back in my arm to a certain degree because I wanted to see all the craziness going on in the world to stay up to date with everything that was happening. And as such, I've been much more online now and seeing a lot more of these kind of things. And today was a doozy with everything that just happened with a streamer named Lucari. Lucari is a streamer I've been loosely familiar with for a while, and I know he had built up a reputation for being like a turbo maximum overdrive gooner, like a self-proclaimed hentai connoisseur, basically setting the goon dial to freaky mode. And today on stream, he accidentally leaked his notepad that was filled with despicable and disgusting shit.
K feeds. Let me at least add way to the list of champions that I like. Fuck.
The links are censored there, but apparently a lot of people have taken the plunge into looking up a lot of what was revealed here through the Lucari leaks, and what they have found is beyond heinous. Like, this is some evil shit we're talking about here. Things like family nudism, apparently. Like, that's some real pedophile shit right there. Also, like, teens and animals. In that notepad there, you might have saw one of the tabs that said JBT. It was like 500 JBT. Apparently that stands for jailbait teens. Like, it's bad. Like, really, really bad. And after this happened, his stream was calling him out on it. And most people expected him to, in the stream, to like hide the evidence, nuke it, basically banish it to the Shadow Realm and hope that people didn't have enough time to dig into it. Lucari, on the other hand, cooked up a different kind of scheme. He streamed for multiple hours after this happened, and just fucking face-tanked everybody that was digging into it, and all the people that were rightfully calling him out for how deplorable the shit they found in there was. So he kept streaming through this, and people were obviously researching what the fuck had just been revealed through this notepad and everything on there. And then he was trying to defend himself by saying like, oh, this was sent to me, or oh, it was actually a virus, or this and that. And then the stream, they weren't really buying that load of barnacles, so then they asked him to do something like show his notepad recents, to show what else had been on his notepad recently. And apparently he took quite a long time not doing that when requested by his chat. According to members that were asking this of him, he was looking at like his other monitor, potentially doing something there, and then eventually he showed his notepad. And the keen observers might notice a little something in front of their peepers that's a bit fishy.
Fap for Fun? Fap for Fun is a hentai site. You also visit Fap for Fun? Yeah, I download a lot of that shit. Couples? Okay. That's literally, is that not the, that's the file with the sus shit in it. Like, it says one thing, but it has a bunch of sus shit in it. So I don't understand. Like,
when he showed the recents on Notepad, there are 3 new text documents. And it doesn't take a super sleuth. You don't need Inspector Gadget to come in with some high-level tools in order to crack this case. The most likely reason is because when he looked at his recents in Notepad, there were probably some really awful things there that he knew people would pick up on. So then he opened some new text documents in Notepad to push those down out of the recents so people couldn't see them. That's the theory. That's just the game theory, but I imagine that's probably pretty accurate. Anyway, though, his big claim, from what I can tell with all the surviving clips here, is that this is the result of a virus that uploaded this to his computer, and he had already removed it, but unfortunately that damn Windows 11, that dastardly bastard that is Windows 11, for some reason kept it around, which is really weird and odd.
How does it end up there? Okay, let me explain what happened. All right? I was surfing a site. Okay? The shit got downloaded. Like, I didn't trigger a fucking download. It just got downloaded. I opened up the fucking text document. I saw what was in it. I deleted the text document. I deleted it. But the problem with Windows 11 is that even if you delete the text document, it apparently still stays there. So it was still there after I deleted it. I've told you guys 1,000 times that's what happened. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I have like a fucking 3 terabytes of fucking hentai on my fucking hard drive, bro. Like a lot. Sometimes you go to a site, some shit downloads on your shit, you don't fucking want it, you fucking delete it, and that's just what happened, man. Okay? Like, that's what happened. I'm sorry, all right? Like, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but that's what happened. Dude, let's just move the fuck on, please.
A very interesting, innovative defense strategy that could make a lawyer throw himself down a set of stairs. So he's saying that he's got 3 terabytes of hentai, which, just take a moment and process that, really let that marinate. That is an absurd amount of anything to have. This guy is basically compiling the fucking Library of Alexandria for hentai on his devices. That's fucking crazy. But he's saying that, you know, like Thanos, it was inevitable that this kind of content would somehow end up on his computer when downloading all this hentai. It happens, you know? It is what it is. And then when he deleted it, Windows 11 went rogue. The ghost in the machine. It wouldn't let the notepad die. Like a necromancer, it revived it. And once again, brought it back to life on Lakari's device. Even though he himself deleted it, he tried to take it down. Windows 11 said no. That's the claim, that when he was downloading all the hentai, he noticed that this got downloaded too, so he deleted it, but Windows 11 has a feature that kept it around even after he deleted it, and he didn't plan on having this stuff in the first place. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't really pass the smell test. It is very hard to believe. Now, what is true about Windows 11, and Notepad in particular, is if you are working in Notepad and you don't save your work, like if you exit out of it or your computer crashes and you don't save it, Windows 11 can restore it. It will actually restore that even if you didn't explicitly save it. So let me show you what that looks like. I'll open Notepad, brand new, brown fox jumped over the lazy log. I have clearly not saved, I have not done anything here, I have just typed into this and you can see that the title matches the text in the document. Now if I was to close out of it, I haven't saved or anything like that, but if I open Notepad again, it's still there. Even though this is not a document or anything that I have saved, because it will save sessions. In Lakari's case, the text didn't match the title, which means he most likely had a separate title for those sections, and also he said that he deleted it. If I was to delete this, if I told this don't save, delete it, Notepad would not restore it. At least I don't think there's any way for it to, but maybe Lakari's working with a prototype Notepad that refuses to let anything die. It saves all work no matter what you tell it to do. I find it unlikely, but I guess it's possible, potentially. Actually, here, let's play with that idea again real quick. Let's say Lakari went, I'll just go the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy log again. I haven't saved it or anything, but let's just go ahead and pretend that I came here and I said don't save. But once again, to show the whole process, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close out of this. I'm going to reopen it, and it's still there. because it does save sessions like that. But if I came over here and I explicitly said don't save, and now I exit out of this, it will no longer open that. So I find his claim very hard to believe.
43K? And that's if they think it's like... Oh my fucking god. Bro, it's not worth it. Just fucking delete my hard drive.
This is him on stream now looking at the legality of lolly in his state, Texas. He doesn't fully understand what he's looking at, but he can recognize that it's not good, and then he eventually says that he's just going to delete his hard drive. It's not worth it. Now, call me crazy, maybe I'm on the crack pipe, but that just doesn't exactly sound like a statement from an innocent man. Like, if you've done nothing wrong and there's nothing suspicious, illegal, or like pedophilic or anything like that, why would you then be saying that you're going to delete your hard drive? It's not worth it. That's very fishy, I'll tell you. And again, from that leak, from that notepad, the things that have been allegedly turned up from all of it are fucking unforgivable. Like, really disgusting, terrible shit. And him then saying, like, just delete the hard drive, it's not worth it. Again, that doesn't really seem like behavior from someone that has nothing to hide.
I'm joking about it! What the fuck, dude? What are you just writing your own narrative? You're just writing your own narrative, man! What the fuck else do you want me to do? What do you want to do? Oh, I'm so sorry! Oh, I didn't do anything! I didn't fucking do anything! That's why I'm not fucking crying and sobbing, bitch! I didn't fucking do anything, dumbass! You just want me to be guilty so fucking bad! Shut the fuck up, retard! Jesus fucking Christ, I'm so sick of this! You want me to be guilty so fucking...
Yeah, like I said, he continued streaming for hours, so obviously people were talking about it for a long time. He snaps eventually and kind of goes ballistic about it, saying like he didn't do anything. Again, I find that kind of hard to believe given everything that happened on stream, at least from the surviving clips that are out there from it. It does not look good. This looks fucking awful. And Lakari got a ban on Twitch for all of this. Apparently he even got banned on Kick. I don't know if he like actively streams on Kick or if that was like a preemptive thing from Kick because they thought he'd go over there after he got banned on Twitch. I don't know, but if you try and go to Lakari's Twitch account, it has been removed as of right now in light of everything that happened during this stream. Again, I find it unlikely that this unfolded the way Lakari is claiming that it did, but I guess we'll see. I'm assuming there will probably be, an actual kind of investigation here, judging by what was allegedly found in some of that leaked from Lakari. Anyway, I had to yap about this a bit. Fucking crazy, man. So it ended up sounding a little more intense than I planned for it to be, but make no mistake, it's still going to be a high-octane video that's going to blow your hair back. I am saying goodbye to Twitch, but not fully in the way that you think. It's not like a funeral service for the Moist Critical Twitch channel. That would be the saddest way of going out ever, because the last broadcast on there is from last night, and it is some of the most despicably trash Warlock gameplay Dark and Darker has ever seen. Having that cursed footage be the last thing broadcast on my Twitch channel before retiring it would be more embarrassing than if my dick pics leaked. So, pop a squat by the fireplace and let me explain. My Twitch contract has been terminated amicably between myself and Twitch, and a huge thanks to Twitch for being so willing to do that, because I did still have a lot of time remaining on my Twitch contract, but I wanted to be able to have flexibility to stream elsewhere, and Twitch fully understood and gave me that firm pat on the ass and said, you go get 'em, champ. So, I am no longer exclusive with Twitch. Now, this isn't me announcing that I've signed somewhere else with like a contract. This isn't like a LeBron James The Decision moment where I'm coming up here and saying, I'm taking my talent, well for me, I'm taking my lack of talent to Mixer. It's nothing like that. This is just simply me saying Twitch was nice enough to turn our contract into toilet paper, which is what I wanted, because I really like the idea of not being forced into one place. I'd like to be able to spread my fucking butterfly wings and be able to try different things on different platforms. So it means a lot that Twitch was willing to, terminate that contract, because under that contract, I couldn't. But now the dog's off the leash. I could rip my shirt off, twirl it over my head like a helicopter blade, and start streaming on Facebook if I wanted to. If I was a crazy person. I'm not doing that. Never happening. But I could, is the point. Now, one thing that I've been pretty vocal about is I do think streaming contracts are a great thing, not only for streamers, but for the audience as well. Because I really do like the idea that you can just watch streams for free. You never need to turn on donations. You never need anyone to pay with subs or anything like that. There'd be no expectation or some feeling of obligation to pay for the streaming content you're watching, because you'd know the streamer is getting some kind of hourly rate or some kind of contract with the platform they're on. I just think that's fucking fantastic and should be the future, because me streaming a game shouldn't be something that's paywalled or inundated with ads out the wazoo. It should be something you could just flip on, completely free to watch and have nothing else to do but kick back and have fun. Streamers not having to rely on donations, I think, is just a great win-win across the board, because unfortunately, there are times where someone gives more money than they should to someone that is financially far better off than they are. And it's just an unfortunate circumstance of the streaming landscape that I think could be improved if contracts were more normalized in the streaming space. And this is going to sound a little weird because I just terminated my Twitch contract, yet I'm talking about how good contracts can be for streaming. So this is where I'm just going to be totally open and honest. All the money I make from streaming goes into our esports organization, Moist Esports. And if you know anything about esports, you'd know it's an absolute bonfire for money. It is actually just flushing money down a toilet forever without ever seeing any return. It's why so many of these orgs go completely defunct. It is just bleeding money until there is nothing left to bleed, and then it's tears. That's just the landscape of esports, but we're in esports because we're passionate about it. I fucking love the esports scene. I really do. So all the money I've made over the last 2 years from streaming has all gone into Moist Esports, and that will continue to be the case going forward. And with the Twitch contract, if you ask anyone who's currently under Twitch contracts, you'll know, they'll tell you, it is the lowest possible offer across any of the other streaming platforms that have ever offered contracts. It's about 1/10 of what the rest of the industry was offering streamers. Now, I'm pretty sure Twitch put the kibosh on offering contracts in general, but when they were, it was a pretty large ask from the streamer in terms of hours broadcast per month, as well as ad density. There was always an ad expectation. Of course, there was wiggle room in terms of how many ads you'd play per hour, but there was always that expectation, which, as I've said many times, I think is not conducive to a good viewer experience because of how poorly ads are implemented on the platform. I think the ads are way too intrusive, and there's a lot of room for improvement there. So the contract was very strict, and the payment from the contract was not enough to even cover a single one of the Moist Esports teams. So we all just kind of felt like this contract isn't really doing anything except making the streams worse because of having to pump ads into them, and it just didn't make sense anymore. And we wanted to try new content, but we couldn't really get excited about Twitch as a platform because not only that, the platform's kind of been making some horrible decisions over the last couple of years. I do think they're starting to get a little bit better. Like, I think they're starting to get it a bit more, but not much. Like, I'm hoping they'll correct course here and steer the ship a bit better, but it's just been hard to get passionate about Twitch, and I'm sure a lot of other streamers have felt the same way. I've seen quite a few of them say similar things. But again, the primary motivation has just been that flexibility, not being locked down by the Twitch contract, which had the very strict exclusivity clause where you couldn't stream anywhere else, and I don't think there would have ever been an exception where they'd let us stream elsewhere. And it's something I've wanted to do different type of content in different places. Most notably, like YouTube streaming, I think would be a very fun place to try some of our newer, bigger projects on, as opposed to being forced to do them on Twitch. Which is nice because I've been wanting to try different things on YouTube streaming in particular. I know that's not the most shocking platform switch ever, considering I actively post videos on this platform already, but I really feel like the streaming side of here is just a totally different beast. And if we have any octogenarians in the audience right now, many of you might remember that I actually did used to stream on YouTube back in 2017. I streamed on here for about a year, and then in 2018 I made the switch back to Twitch, and I've been exclusive on there since 2018. That platform's always been my home for streaming, and it brings a tear to my eye thinking back on it. Not many people know this. This is deep cut Charles lore here. But I used to stream on Twitch way before it was Twitch. Back in 2010, I was an active streamer on Justin TV, which would eventually become Twitch. And boy howdy, let me tell you, with my hand on a stack of Bibles, the streams I did on Justin TV should never be unearthed. They were rancid looking. They are unwatchably hard to digest what is even happening on screen. The shit I was broadcasting looked like a Sasquatch photo. It was extremely blurry. It looked like you were trying to remember a dream. It was the lowest possible bitrate, the lowest possible FPS. The audio was incomprehensible. It sounded like 3 walkie-talkies underwater while torpedoes were blowing up around them. It was terrible. It looked like something out of The Ring. I bet everyone that accidentally tuned into one of my Justin TV streams thought they were gonna die in 7 days. And I used to stream fucking horrific World at War Zombies gameplay. Let me show you one of the surviving archives of a clip from it.
Shit, I'm the last one. Critical. We can do oh, shit. Shit. 2 seconds. No! Ah! Ah! Split the defense. Split the defense. Hustle play. Hold on, I gotta talk on the mic to just hear this. Who's spraying fire on me? Oh, Jesus! I just took on the world zombies population, and that one almost took me out.
That, my friends, is the old glory days of streaming, the golden era. That's what it used to look like back in ancient times. I'm actually at the point where I feel like the grandpa from Rugrats, Lou Pickles, where he'd tell a story like, we had to hike 15 miles up a hill in the snow just in order to get a single fucking thing of smelling salts. Like, that's how I feel. That's how we used to broadcast our streams on Justin TV. Well, I guess not everyone. Angry Video Game Nerd back then used to have a 24/7 Justin TV stream going on, and it was pretty good quality. But a lot of us were streaming like that. So, I'm getting a bit off track. Just going down memory lane with Twitch. I have been on there for a very long time. I did take a break in 2011, but I've always considered Twitch my home for streaming, so I don't plan on leaving home. Think of this as we're no longer married. Now we're just friends with benefits, I guess. We're not monogamous. I do still plan on streaming on Twitch, and I think I always will. But I will also be streaming elsewhere too, most notably YouTube. I'm going to do my first YouTube stream tonight, probably around like 9:30 EST. Actually, probably closer to 10 p.m. EST, because I still need to eat dinner. So let's just say around 10 p.m. EST tonight, I'll go live on YouTube. And what I eventually want to do is be able to do different content on different platforms for streaming. So, for example, the Moist Wrestling League, we have our next taping next week. I do eventually want to take the Moist Wrestling League live, and I would love to be able to do it live on YouTube, because I think it would just go so fucking hard on YouTube. I like a lot of the features YouTube has over Twitch. The ability to just go back in a stream, just rewind it like native in the player, I think is great. I think the chat functionality is so fucking primitive, it is weak right now. Ludwig has Truffle to help with that, but the actual built-in YouTube streaming chat is trash, and it needs a complete overhaul. But I really do just love the idea of being able to do different projects in different places. Another thing is Dungeons & Dragons. We're going to be doing our own Dungeons & Dragons show, not like in an official capacity partnership with Wizards or anything. It's just our own silly campaign that we're putting a lot of resources into to make like really high quality, because we've been obsessed with Critical Role and Dimension 20 recently, and we just thought it'd be so fun to have our own wacky D&D adventure show that we would love to take live. And I think YouTube would be another great streaming platform for that content. But that's long term. Right now, there's not going to be a huge difference in content between YouTube streams and Twitch streams. Like tonight, I plan on speedrunning. I don't know if I'm going to try learning the Gollum speedrun or the Jedi Survivor speedrun. The Jedi Survivor speedrun looks super hype, and I think it'd be a fun one to learn. But I also love the idea of speedrunning Gollum, the worst game of the year so far. So we'll see. But yeah, it's kind of like the overall big plan, big picture now, with no longer being exclusive to Twitch. I will, of course, still be streaming on Twitch. Like, I'll probably do more Dark and Darker on Twitch, tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do Dark and Darker tomorrow on YouTube as well. Like, that's the fun of it. I now have the flexibility to choose which platform I go live on, and eventually I would love to be able to have different content live in different places. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and also say a big thank you to Twitch for even letting me do this, because like I said, I did still have a lot of time left on that contract, but we came to an amicable decision to just say, hey, it's all good. So that's super nice of them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to do some wacky stuff. Just wanted to usual today, very raggedy. I look like I just crawled out of Jumanji and I'm wondering what year it is. But before I take a shower, I think it's important that I address something, because yesterday my Twitter mentions were set ablaze. I was nonstop flooded with demands to speak on a new potential Twitch meta that was beginning to blossom. Feast your eyes on the glory of gaming. And when this was floating around Twitter, I was like the Powerpuff Girls and Twitter was the mayor. They wouldn't stop ringing my hotline trying to alert me to this like it was some kind of emergency that I needed to speak on. So 5 days ago I made a video called Twitch is Evolving. Fun fact, you actually can't find that video just by searching for it because it was too risque for YouTube, I suppose, so it no longer shows up in any search algorithms. You can only find it by going directly to my channel. And the video was just me talking and goofing about a stream that I was made aware of while I was live, that a streamer was basically just showing their whole brown balloon knot with a little bit of Valorant gameplay, and I was in disbelief, so I went to check it out to confirm this, and turns out that myth was not busted. It was just a bunch of fucking nuts in there that were. It was a very sexual stream by design, and I made a video just kind of talking about it because it was super silly. And also, it turns out that the streamer I was focusing on in that video, her name is Strawberry Tabby, may not have actually been the creator of this. I got this tweet the following day from a streamer named Asian Bunny, who said that she was actually the one that created not only this meta that I was talking about with like the butthole camera and all of that, but also the previous topless meta. So it seems Asian Bunny may actually be the innovator, nay, the Imagineer behind some of these like very sexual Twitch metas. But anyway, I think it's important context before getting into like the recent thing we're going to talk about to explain why I'm being alerted to all of this now. So that video, Twitch is Evolving, to summarize what it was without showing you, because apparently that's frowned upon on YouTube to showcase that, even though it was fine for Twitch. She had a dual cam setup, one where it was her in like the smallest bikini mankind has ever dreamed up. It makes hentai and anime games look weak in comparison to the reality here. She had like the smallest bikini ever for her top, and she had that cam on the left, basically like Honker's Jumbotron on the left, and on the right, she came up with something the world has never seen before. It was basically a colonoscopy cam. So she had her ass pushed in front of an iPhone, which I didn't even know was an iPhone at the time. I legitimately thought it was like a Blackmagic 8K camera. Like that shit was ready for IMAX. And again, with like the tightest string bikini ever that was wedging her ass crack. That fabric was fighting for its life down there, straddling the hole. And it wasn't really covering it, so you could still see like her entire anus in the stream. And I was just joking about that because this has been a huge thing on Twitch for a long time, to constantly be pushing the envelope of what kind of sexual content they'll allow. And it seemed like that had the green light because she'd been streaming for like 5-something hours, one of the biggest streamers at the time. She had like Valorant gameplay in the tiniest box ever. Like if you were trying to watch the Valorant gameplay, you would have needed binoculars in order to see it from her stream. And I was just laughing and goofing about that whole situation because again, it doesn't seem like Twitch really gives a fuck all that much when it comes to these policies. Though she did eventually catch a ban for it. I take no responsibility. That is not my fault. That must have been some shadow government at play working behind the scenes. I was just there, it's just having a giggle at what I was seeing. But anyway, since I posted that video, I've kind of become like the butt patrol of Twitch now. So anytime there's a streamer doing something sexual, people like to tell me about it. I don't know why. I'm not the ass police. I was just laughing at that one stream in particular. That's really about it. Though it seems that I have been pigeonholed into this role now, so I'll go ahead and talk about this because I'm still inundated with requests to do so. So let's go over the new Twitch meta here that's risen from the ashes of Butthole Cam. This time, it's a streamer whom we've talked about before, Morgp, who is putting gameplay on her cheeks.
I'm rusty. And with the little rusties, Yo, playing Fortnite. Yes, indeed. And the same amount of luck, you two can look like me. Ka-chow. What? There was an invisible force field. What is this? Already have that. I'm just up in this biz. There are people fighting outside. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I need to potion up. Sheesh. Ka-chow. I am in no position to be.
In a fascinating twist of fate, this happens to be like the least nude sexual meta I've seen develop on Twitch. Like, she's fully covered. Her tuchus is just a green screen for gameplay, so you can't even really see her rump or anything. And she's also wearing like an actual top, too. So this is like the least sexual I've seen one of these metas get. Of course, watching Fortnite gameplay in keister shape isn't conducive to the best viewing experience. Like, it's definitely not optimal for high-quality gameplay presentation. But there is gameplay there and significantly less nudity, it seems. Though, I will say, like, one of those donation goals at the top there was Creamy Treat. I don't exactly know what that would look like here. I haven't seen a clip of it, so I don't really know what it's referring to. Since the focal point of this stream is on her ass gameplay, is she gonna, like, shit herself or something? Like, you donate for the Creamy Treat and she poops, and then, like, the green screen pants, like, inflate a little bit? I don't know. I can't really figure out what that means. It's probably some kind of, like, bait and switch type thing. Creamy Treat, you donate, and then she eats a piece of food suggestively, perhaps. I have no idea. The other one's Jumping Jacks. That one's pretty self-explanatory, I imagine. Though it's going to be, like, really disorienting watching Fortnite gameplay on a moving, jiggling pair of butt cheeks. But that one, at least, I understand what that would look like. The Creamy Treat, though, I'm at a loss. I have no clue. So, yeah. I don't have a lot of strong thoughts on this new Twitch meta here. It definitely is the most clothed I've seen in a while for one of these metas. So that's going in a good direction, I would think, right? I actually imagine she probably won't get banned for this one. I don't know how many times she's been banned. It's a lot, but this might actually be one that's safe by the Twitch policy. Though you have to wonder, how do the hog squeezers feel about it? Because this is more closed than they're used to for a sexual meta that's developed. And I can't see the chat replay when I went back to watch it. I don't know if it's just Twitch mobile not really functioning properly like usual or what, but I can't see their response. When we covered the last one with Strawberry Tabby and the Butthole Cam, which sounds like the title to a Harry Potter book, we were able to see the chat and them celebrate each and every gyration she made every time she adjusted her seating position. There were people in the chat going crazy. Yeah! Whoa, come on, Fudge! Whoa! So it was like the Super Bowl of butt for them. This one, you don't really get any of that. You're getting Fortnite, where there was once ass. So maybe they're disappointed in it and it won't take off as like the next successful sexual Twitch meta or anything, but who really knows? I'm not an expert on this, contrary to popular belief. But yeah, anyway, you got to witness history unfold in front of your smiling face live. And I know that that's a phrase I use pretty often when I'm exaggerating. Usually I'll use it when I'm referring to something that's very trivial, like winning a participation trophy in a chess match or something. But this time I mean it. This is not a boy who cried wolf situation. Last night was a substantial moment in history. I went through all of the Twitch VODs I could find to see if anyone else had ever done this before, and I can't find any evidence of it ever having happened until I did it last night. Unless fucking Count Dooku came in there and scrubbed the Jedi archives, it just has never happened on Twitch. And it was a Magic the Gathering card opening I did last night where I pulled this bad boy. This is a serialized Eldrazi card. It's not really focusing on it, but it's number 221 out of 250, Kozilek the Broken Reality. That number right there, 250, that's how many of this card exist in the world. Magic the Gathering is one of the most popular card games on the planet. They sell millions upon millions upon millions of cards anytime there's a new set, which there is. And of the millions of cards in circulation right now, out in the wild, out in the tall grass, only 250 exist of that card that I pulled, and I have one of those sacred treasures now. Like, that 250 is basically how many nuts I've busted since pulling that last night. Like, I know to a lot of people that doesn't sound crazy, but maybe if I break it down mathematically, you'll start to understand just how rare what I did last night is. Luckily, this Reddit user put on their thinking caps and did some of the math to break it down for us. So, there is 750 serialized cards in the new set Modern Horizons 3. This set is one of the most hyped in all of Magic, so it's likely that it's going to be at or above the best-selling set of all time, which is 280,000 boxes sold. So using these numbers, also to explain the 750, there's 250 serialized Kozileks, and then there's a couple others in the set that also have serialized versions. So popping these numbers into the old calculations here, at 280,000 collector's boxes, that comes out to about 3.4 million packs, meaning to get a serialized Eldrazi, it'd be one in about every 4,500 packs, or 0.0002% chance of pulling a serialized Eldrazi. And at $30 per pack, you're looking at $135,000 you would need to spend to even get in the ballpark of guaranteeing one, which isn't a guarantee. How about them apples? I have opened 7 collector's boxes for Modern Horizons 3, all on stream, and I managed to pull this off right here. So put that in your butt and fuck it. That is extraordinary. But it also leaves me a little sad, because a 0.0002% chance of doing something is such crazy low odds that I would have rather had that luck used for something besides pulling shiny cardboard. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that could have definitely been, like, that RNG could have definitely been spent better. Like, if I was guaranteed an extremely lucky event, I would really rather it not be pulling a cool Magic card. I love collecting and I love playing Magic, but Jesus Christ, the odds of me pulling that were so low, I really wish it had been used somewhere else in my life. But whatever, I'm still super happy with that card, and it's a great memory and a fucking banger stream moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play the raw clip here of when I pulled that bad boy. Trench Post, $1. Shouldn't have looked it up. Spymaster's Vault, we pulled like 5 of these, it was like $1. Primal Prayers, normal retro. I can't believe what I'm looking at. I'm fucking stunned. Can you see this on camera right here? Can you see what I'm looking at right here? Can you see this? Someone's gonna need to get Wubby on the hotline right now, because this man's about to come over and suck my cock for what I just got. Can you see this? This is like $2. I got a serialized Eldrazi, a serialized Kozilek, 221 of 250. I actually fucking pulled a serialized Eldrazi. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a second. Someone get the president on the line. This is big. That's actually unreal. That's the first serialized card I've ever seen. A serialized Eldrazi is ballistic. Holy shit. Okay, so for those that don't know, serialized cards mean that there's only this many of this version printed. So I got 221 of 250. Means there's only 250 of these in the fucking world. Usually serialized cards go for thousands, depending on like what number they are. This is a serialized Eldrazi. This shit is fat. Holy shit. Is there a hold on, I gotta check. Is there a single serialized Eldrazi for sale right now that I can look at? That's so fitting too, that it's a Kozilek. I play the shit out of Kozilek in my Goofy Cyrdan deck. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. That might actually be worth more than the fucking Demonic Tutor Alpha I pulled. That is an unbelievable hit. Hold on, let me see. There might be one. There's got to be one on eBay, right? There's got to be one. There's 220 others that pulled one of these. There's got to be somebody selling through eBay. I need to know what they're going for right now. Okay, right now there is a serialized Kozilek on eBay, number 125, going for 4K. And then there's someone selling number 176. This is the cheapest one, but this one's an auction. So this one's still bidding. It's at 727. Then there is number 141 being sold for 1,000, also an auction. Then there's another number 110 being sold for 1,500, also an auction. All these have bids, by the way. 41 bids for the 1,500. Like, that's crazy. What a fucking pull. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot that I said I'd pull my cock out if I pulled a serialized Eldrazi. So I'm not doing that. Sorry to break it to you, I just thought it was impossible. I did not think there would ever come a day I'd pull a serialized card, let alone a serialized Eldrazi. So, you can call me a liar. I'm not going to pull my flaccid meat out. Maybe if you give me some time to, like, maybe semi-chub, I'll think about it. But flaccid, absolutely not. Hold on. I'm actually shaking. That's the nerdiest shit ever. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you had to see that. Yikes. I'm shaking over cardboard. I think of all of the, like, I think the only thing that comes close for on-stream pulls I've ever done is probably when Danny pulled the Gym Heroes Blaine's Charizard on stream. That's like the only thing I think that comes close to my on-stream pulls. Oh my god. And there's still more in the box. How about this? If I get another serialized Eldrazi in this box, I will 100% commit to pulling my wiener out. Can we meet in the middle on that? If I get a second serialized in this box, then I'll do it. Then I will actually do it. Oh, hey, Wubby's here. Number 221. We got the number 221 Kozilek. Rat. Hey, brother. I'm just telling you. Sometimes you just got the hot hands. I don't know what to, you weren't born with the X factor in you. I'll teach you a thing or two. You know, in fact, watch me do it again. That card was so good, I think I'll have it a second time. You want to see me do it again? 2 serialized, 1 box. Oh my god, wait, this is a crazy pack already. Another Ocelot Pride. Flooded Strand Retro Foil, $50. This box is crazy. This box is fucking crazy. When you cast this spell up to 2 target players, each manifest 2 cards from their hands. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. Other colors creatures you control get +3/+2. And since it's a serialized card, it also comes with the hidden passive that I win the game if I play it. So that'll be fun. That'll be good. There's card shops that have been in business for decades that have never pulled a serialized Eldrazi. It is an incredible feat. Not that it took talent or anything. It's not like I did anything special. I just got lucky. But it's just such a rare occurrence that the vast majority of people and places will never pull a serialized card no matter how many boxes they get because they are that hard to come by. So it really is a special moment in Twitch history. I don't think I missed anything. Like, I don't think it's been done before on Twitch. Not that I've seen. But even if it has, then I want to shake that person's hand as well because that shit is unreal. Like, it's so crazy to actually pull that. So I just had to talk about this. The full opening, the full card opening, I think I'm going to just post on the Skill Check channel or on Moist Charlie clips. I haven't decided which one yet. Probably Skill Check because we've been doing so much Magic content. Like, we have another big Commander game coming out this week. So I'll probably post it there. To cruising the cyberspace. The first is always have an ad blocker installed. Hey, Kata. She heard the word ad blocker and she was coming in here to let you all know how important it is. I don't know what kind of monster could actually enjoy the modern internet without an ad block. It's just a miserable experience, a giant headache. But the second unwritten rule that not as many people talk about is never go on Twitch without being logged in. It's scary. Twitch has this tendency to recommend the most odd streams to you. Like streams that'll have like 3 or 4 viewers. Whenever I'm not logged in, I get recommended the weirdest channels I've ever seen. It's kind of like that whole trend back on YouTube. Don't FaceTime Freddy Fazbear at 3 a.m. He came to visit. That's like Twitch when you're not logged in. Except you're always visited by one streamer in particular. Her name is Taylor, and you may have heard of her before because a couple times over the last year people have talked about what she does there because it's very weird. And anytime I make the mistake of being on Twitch without being logged in, hers is the first recommended channel for some reason. Every time without fail, no matter like what computer I'm on, for some reason Twitch is really fixated on recommending her channel, and it's not just to me. This is how so many people found her channel and started talking about it. So when I saw her name pop up, I recognized it and I got curious. This was like 3 months ago now. So 3 months ago, I clicked on her stream to see what the controversy was. Like, what does she do that makes people so upset? And what I found is pretty shocking.
Alright, so we're going Because they're not ready. Some people are ready, some people are not ready. Alright, so let's get this ball rocking and rolling. Alright, so let's go, guys, let's go! You're not ready, you better be ready, guys! You better be ready. We have to be ready. I thought we were ready. I think it's time. It is time. It is more than past the time. Guys, literally it is past the time. We have to go. We have to do this.
She is a hot tub streamer. However, she is a very different kind of hot tub streamer, like the next evolution, like the final form, raid boss of hot tub streaming. It's actually more like an abstract idea of a hot tub streamer. It's very avant-garde. So she'll stream for like 4 or 5 hours, but she never actually shows herself. You only ever see her arm. She stands off to the side and for 4 hours will hype up the chat like, hey, it's time, alright, enough stalling, I know I was a little long in the setup today, but now it's time to get in the hot tub, so spam 1 if you're ready to see me get into the hot tub and do some squats, spam 1. And it's nothing but stalling endlessly. I guess the idea is to prolong blue balls from the horny chatters that just want to jerk off to the hot tub streamer, and she'll milk them for 4 hours, up to 6 hours. I think her world record so far, her personal best, is 6 hours of stalling, and then I think she usually comes on at the very end for about like 10 minutes or so before wrapping. It is baffling. Now, I'm not just trying to start a witch hunt here, and I don't want anyone to harass her. I just wanted to showcase this because I found it so odd and interesting.
Rolling. Alright, so, type 1 if you guys are ready to move. Alright, we're gonna hit it and quit it. There are no ads. I mean, there was ads, guys. I can see it on my desktop. Alright, so, we want more ads, no more ads. You just have to hit it, guys. We just have to hit it. We just have to hit it. It is time to hit it and quit it, guys. It is time to hit it and quit it. So, it is time. Remember, Lane Calm 2023 is here. What a way.
This is footage I captured from right now. So she starts usually around like 9 a.m. EST and she'll go till like 2 p.m. without ever showing herself, apparently. It is incredible. I have a couple conspiracy theories I'll share in a moment, but you can see she's already been doing this for over 3.5 hours. It's such an interesting hustle that I don't fully understand. So my conspiracy theory is that it was pre-recorded. I think she does do some streams that have to be pre-recorded because there's just no way. And the minimal interaction with chat, as well as like some subs that she doesn't thank, makes me really feel like there is an element of pre-recorded video to this, which I'm not positive on. That's of course me just putting on the tinfoil hat and speculating. I just can't fully wrap my tiny little reptile brain around the concept of this, because she's making significantly less money from the people in chat than she would if she was just a normal hot tub streamer. This like baiting for 4 to 6 hours doesn't work out super well because people are constantly filtering in and out and getting upset at her. And there's not a whole lot of sub activity from it either. So it feels like it's just counterintuitive. It's almost like it's supposed to be a parody of hot tub streams, but it's lacking the self-awareness, and she, at the end of the day, is the one that's by far the most bored by standing there for 4 hours or so, saying the same things over and over again like an NPC with only a few dialogue choices. She's clearly always trying to fill as much time as possible, and that ends with her just repeating herself constantly. Now, she does have mods, which I was very curious about because are the mods in on it? Do they know? And what I was learning from watching this stream a bit today is that the mods do seem pretty self-aware with what's going on. So when she's like hyping everyone up like it's all getting, you know, it's all coming, everyone spam 1 and I'm about to fucking go hard, we're gonna get hog wild in here, we're jumping in this fucking hot tub, and I'm gonna be fucking squirting water out of my butthole, it's gonna get wild. The mods will play into it, but then the mods will like ask her a question to derail it. And then she'll spend like 15 minutes on that derailed question, like, oh, okay, enough talking about my birthday or whatever. Back to getting into this because it's time to start. We're already late. Time to start. So it feels like the mods as well as Taylor know what the play is here.
We got this, guys. All right, so we're gonna let it roar from the mountaintops. It is time to hit it and quit it. Type 1 in chat if you guys are ready to rumble. Type 1 in chat if you're ready to rumble. Type 1.
She just left for quite some time right here, which isn't uncommon. This is a very normal occurrence. This isn't like some kind of crazy phenomenon, like an anomaly that happened in the stream. She'll sometimes just get like way too bored, I guess, of like repeating herself. So she'll go out with a bang like it's the WWE. Like, alright, it's fucking go time. It's WrestleMania, brother. Type 1 in the chat if you're ready for the fucking stream. and then you'll hear her close the door behind herself, and then it's just silence for like 10 minutes, and then she'll come back and be like, alright, sorry guys, had to get some water. It reminds me of that old shit on 4chan with Mr. Bones' Wild Ride, where it just never ends. Or that scene in The Fairly Odd Parents when Timmy Turner and his dad were on their way to a ride, but they're taking this long escalator, and Timmy says, when do we get to the ride? And the dad says, this is the ride. That's like her whole stream. And I guess it must work to some degree. Like, she is popular. I mean, 5,000 viewer average is very, very good. But I don't know if those are like actual viewers or people that just come in here for the spectacle of it and then leave. Because that feels like what it is. It's just people constantly coming in and leaving. It's just a really odd situation. But yeah, they're still going. She's up to like 4 hours, 15 minutes right now. So I'm just going to keep doing this video until she ends the stream. Because I have to know how long she goes this time. Maybe I'm about to bear witness to her longest stall yet.
Alright, let it ring from the mountaintops. Yes, Nux, you know the drill. Let it ring from the mountaintops. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Let's get it rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's still going. Pretty much the same as the first 4 hours, but I feel like we're entering into that final act here. One other thing I'd like to mention is she doesn't save her VODs because I imagine she doesn't want people to go to the VODs and realize that this isn't unusual. This is the whole stream of just like hyping people up to get started without ever getting started. Which I suppose is smart because she doesn't want to let people in on what's like actually happening here.
How many squats are about to go down? It's going down in the DM. Just joking, just joking. Alright, so everybody vote in chat, vote in chat. Vote in chat. I'm only here for the chat, so.
We're now over the 4.5 hour mark, so we're reaching some pretty big milestones here. Now, she demonstrated one other thing she does a lot during her streams, which is running polls and stuff, and she'll do 10 minutes on the poll in order to fill an easy 10 minutes. So this one is how many squats should she do, and it's a 10-minute poll, which allows her to easily fill up another 10 minutes here.
Alright, we got this. Alright, so we're rocking and rolling. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Alright, so without further ado, everybody, without further ado, chat, without further ado.
We're approaching 5 hours here, and it's still rocking and rolling time. I cannot imagine how she actually gets through a whole stream doing this, because that just seems like true anguish. Repeating the same lines over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't let up at all. Now, a lot of people call her a scammer for this, and I guess like by the technical definition she is, but she's scamming you out of your time and attention, I guess, which could be worse than scamming you out of your money, I suppose. She doesn't make nearly as many subs as all of the other hot tub streamers do, at least not by the numbers that I can see. So I don't even really understand what the motivation is to continue doing these like countdown streams as opposed to just doing like a hot tub stream at this point. Because she used to do like body painting and stuff, but now it's mainly this. And she seemed to have found a lot more success with the body painting stuff. So I don't know what really drove her to doing these kind of streams.
And 0.0 0.009. Guys.
We've made it past the 5 hour mark now. She did a countdown, hitting 0 and then getting into the deep decimal places. It's getting huge. The excitement is really building.
Imagine standing my whole life. I mean, I imagine. I don't know what to say. All right, so we are hopping on.
We're over 5.5 hours now. I've just been grinding Slayer and RuneScape with this in the background, and it is unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's painful, but she's making a push for the world record here. I think it's gonna go to like 6 hours, 6.5 hours till she hops on stream for a couple minutes before ending. So I should be here for the world record run she's making right now.
So, howdy. Welcome to Jurassic Park, guys. So we are gonna get this ball.
5 hours and 55 minutes for her to make her first appearance here. That's wild. We just missed the world record here. She didn't quite break the 6-hour mark. But you want to know what's even wilder? Is she only stayed on stream for about like 6 or 7 minutes and then she left. And now it's just been this iPad here for like the last, I don't know, probably 8 or so minutes. Time is moving at such a weird pace right now with this fucking stream here. It's like purgatory. But yeah, now it's just an iPad and some music. I don't feel like sticking around super long to find out if this is the end of the stream. I have a sneaking suspicion it is. It just ends on the iPad and this music and she never comes back. This is just how she wraps it up. Just hopped in there for sub 10 minutes and said, alright, that's enough. Goodbye. What a fucking wild, weird stream channel. This is what she does daily, pretty much. Anytime I'm not logged in, her channel is recommended, and it's always this. I've just never bothered sticking around for more than like 2 seconds just to see if it's different. But today I wanted to see it till the very end, and it looks like I have. I'm not going to stay for another fucking hour of just watching this iPad here. Maybe my assumption is wrong and she does come back and do her squats that she said she'd do, or do anything that she says the stream is going to consist of. Maybe she comes back and fucking body paints. Who knows? I don't really want to stick around and find out. It's already been 6 goddamn hours. I've grinded so much in RuneScape, I want a break. So see on the internet aren't real. The accounts that you interact with, the posts that you see, oftentimes aren't even made by a human being on the other side of the keyboard. The cyberspace is dominated by bots. And unless you've just woken up from a coma, this isn't news to you. Everybody knows that now. It's an accepted part of cruising the World Wide Web, that the shit you see is artificially inflated. And it's become a huge yapping point, a massive topic, specifically dead internet theory, and diving even deeper into the minutia of bots, cannonballing into the deep end of the pool, you will find viewbots, a topic that often gets very aggressive and accusatory because it is so prevalent across streams in particular, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Kick. Streamers of all shapes and sizes are often using viewbots to boost their numbers. It's not some big conspiracy, it's not deep state propaganda or anything like that. It is a provable, real thing that platforms just don't seem to be taking any real action on at all. I could right now go live on Twitch openly stating I'm viewbotting it out the wazoo to fucking 20k viewers, and maybe the worst that would happen is I get like a 24-hour suspension from Twitch. They don't care. They made that push like a year ago about getting bots off the platform, but that lasted for what, 2 fucking days? And then they took like a catastrophic hit to their overall viewer metrics, and I guess they pumped the brakes because at the end of the day, and this is something people say a lot, and it is true, those huge numbers are good for Twitch as well to advertisers, even if the numbers are fake, even if they know it's botted, phony baloney, fraudulent viewer metrics. It doesn't matter. It makes them more appealing to brands. So it seems like they are very hands-off when it comes to doling out big punishment for viewbots. It's not exactly a well-kept secret. It's pretty out there in the open that tons of streamers viewbot. Now, the reason why I'm yapping about it again is because just yesterday, or maybe it was even earlier today, I don't know, time moves in a weird fucking fashion once you hit your 30s. Everything blends together, your bones fucking creak anytime you walk up or down stairs. Anyway, though, I'll stop bitching and whining about that. I know you're not here to listen to me play a sad song on the world's smallest violin about my deteriorating cartilage. The CEO of Night Media, Reed, came forward with a post out of nowhere saying that it's time to start viewbotting. That's the title of the post, which is a eye-catching title, no doubt. Very seldom will you hear someone in that kind of position just say the quiet part out loud here about success in the streaming space. And make no mistake, Night Media is fucking huge. They are one of the top dogs in the YouTuber streamer agency space. They are huge in the industry. They represented Mr. Beast for a while. I don't know if they still do, but they have represented and still actively represent massive creators. So it was certainly interesting to see him with a post like this that makes it seem like he's out there saying, everyone's got a viewbot, we got to open Pandora's box. If you're not pooping, you're farting. If you're not using viewbots, You're at a disadvantage. Wake the fuck up, samurai. Time to get Viewbots on the horn. But reading the post, it's a little bit different, though ultimately his tone around Viewbots does seem to be somewhat positive. What does it take to cut through all the noise on the internet? If everyone else is botting, why shouldn't you? We used to live in a world where if you made great content, algorithms would find an audience for your videos. Now, creators have to clip farm, pay clippers, and sometimes even Viewbot to have a better chance of capturing more attention and breaking through the noise. This is especially true on platforms like Twitch, where viewbotting can surface you on the front page of popular streaming categories. Off rip, this is some turbo doomer shit because it kind of positions it as like your only option if you're just getting started. Oh, there used to be a time where if you made great content, you could get found, but those times are way behind us in the shitter now. It's gone. That's a era long forgotten, like the saber-toothed tiger. Now, if you want to cut through the noise, you gotta clip farm, pay clippers, or Lord help us, even Viewbot. You gotta get down and dirty in the pig pen. It's the only way. When that's not true. You can still make great content and get found. It does happen. I think the best example of that is Queso. I would be shocked to learn Queso Viewbotted at any point in his life. I don't even think the guy could find a Viewbot website or provider. I genuinely don't think he would even know where to begin with something like that. And he has blown up solely because he makes good content. He cut through the noise. And this is something I've always said, luck is a huge part of it. It is. It just is. But what he is right about is that in the current day and age, there is an alternative that doesn't rely as much on RNG, and that is pay to win. You can stand a better chance of standing out in the oversaturation of content creation by paying for Viewbots to float your streams to the top of categories, or pay for Viewbots on other socials where you're spamming clips from your streams so you could boost up numbers on, you know, a wacky moment or something and have it like explode elsewhere because you inflated the numbers through Viewbots, so then people could find your stream and maybe organically grow it that way, but you still Viewbotted in order to boost a clip that led people to the stream. Like, there are paths that don't rely as much on luck, because if you just have money to start and just start buying views, it does help put you in front of more eyes. It's something that's very common, especially on Twitter. But at the end of the day, I just don't like this mentality that Reed kind of encapsulates here of, well, everyone else is cheating, so I should too. And he's trying to make like a strong argument that everyone else is doing it. Content alone, it could be the most slapping, banging content ever. It's not good enough. It's all about the distribution method now, which is dominated through bots and shit like that. So really, you gotta think about this strategy of using bots. I just don't like how he's positioning bots as a strategy instead of calling it what it really is, which is cheating. Like, yes, you can gamify the distribution and shit through bots. Everyone fucking knows that. But I just don't think it's something that should be outwardly encouraged. And it's really weird that the CEO of Night Media, one of the biggest agencies in the space, especially for streamers, is having this kind of viewpoint. Like, his title isn't exactly indicative of his thoughts, because he does say, like, this is a problem, this is an exploit, but he speaks about it like, this exploit exists, so you have to use this now. It's like, you really should, like, almost that it's a necessity. And I just don't like that perspective, nor that mentality. I just think there's a reason why this topic on Viewbots is always so passionate from so many people, because Viewbots fucking suck. Nobody likes that. It is just a completely dog shit norm right now. And I don't think it needs to be even more normalized. But it's not some requirement or anything like that. Reed then goes on to make a mention of advertisers and Viewbots. Do advertisers have any way of tracking botted engagement, and why isn't Twitch cracking down on this at all? Those are two really good questions. The answer to do advertisers have a way of tracking botted engagement is a big nobody fucking knows. My gut tells me there's no way advertisers would have any clue, because how would they? How would they distinguish between authentic and real viewers through just a number plastered on a stream? It'd be entirely on Twitch to take care of the bots and get that number to be where it's like the authentic viewers and not just like, you know, fraudulent ones. I don't see how they could ever possibly know what's real and what's fake based on just the publicly available information, and I doubt Twitch is behind the scenes saying, okay, so your advertisement was played in front of 1 million concurrent viewers over the course of this campaign. Of that, about 15K were real human beings. We really appreciate your business. Like, I highly doubt that fucking happens, right? Like, it doesn't happen on a streamer basis with sponsors either. So, like, if a streamer is botting his stream up to like 5K, but really he only has like 1,000 real viewers there, and he works with a brand, and he sells to this brand at the 5K concurrent viewers, he's making a lot of extra money versus if he sold at his real 1K, and now the brand gets put in front of what they believe is 5,000 people, but is actually 4,000 bots with only 1,000 real people there. So maybe the campaign only sees them make like 3 fucking sales. Like, man, Perry Poutine Gotcha Game only got 3 clicks through this guy's stream, even though he has 5K concurrent viewers. What's going on here? And then you can maybe speculate and surmise that, okay, he's botting. But then you'd also never really know for sure, because you could also say like, okay, maybe his community's just not interested in this gotcha game. These brands, I don't think have any idea, is the point I'm making. I don't see how they would. It's entirely on Twitch to combat the bots, and I don't think there's a way or a tool that these brands have access to that normal people don't, that lets them see real versus fake viewers. And then to Reed's second question about why does Twitch not crack down on it, I think everyone knows, because Twitch also benefits from these hugely inflated numbers. They see a lot of upside to these massive numbers being housed on Twitch. I think that's pretty clear. Probably don't need to dive any deeper on that. And it is something that he starts to tackle in his next section here about platforms needing to take action. He goes on to talk about, how prevalent the botting problem is, as well as the reluctance from platforms to act on it, believing that the more views there are, the better things look for advertisers, which many people agree with. And again, that probably is the simple truth of it. If these numbers are huge, the platforms are probably very happy, because then it's more appealing to advertisers. It could end up with more money to the platform itself. I think it really is that simple. Now, it's this section that ties directly into the eye-catching title that he used here for this piece. If everyone else is doing it, should you? I would never explicitly say you should bot your views on Twitch, other than in the title of this article. But the reality is, if you're not view botting and everyone else is, you're at a disadvantage. When you're competing in a category where you're buried if you don't have 500 plus viewers, maybe shifting your strategy to paying clippers and buying bots helps a streamer break through. I wanted to see what it would cost to bot a stream, and for $180 a week on Viewbotter, I can get 1,500 followers, 225 chatters, and 750 concurrent viewers. Not bad for less than $800 a month, and these companies accept crypto payments. So he's saying that he's not actively advocating for view botting your channel, but if you're not, well, you got your own dick in your butt. Like, everyone around you is doing it. Maybe you should shift your strategy. I don't know. To me, that feels like he is advocating for it. Maybe I'm on the crack pipe. He's pointing out a real problem, that these platforms don't enforce it, so the precedent has been set that there's no actual consequences. But it does seem like he's saying you really should viewbot your streams if you want to succeed. And he does prop it up as a legitimate strategy, and even insinuates that it's not like super expensive, saying, not bad for less than $800 a month. Look at this huge head start you can get. Really should be something to consider. And like, I get it. It is something that people obviously consider and pull the trigger on, no doubt. But it's not exactly something that I think should be encouraged either. It sucks. Like that, it is a bad practice. And there's a reason why this is such a big topic, because people don't like viewbotters. It's not something that I think should be talked about in a manner that feels like it's positive and encouraging, and even setting it up as like maybe even your only option if you want to stand out, because as Reed said multiple times, good content isn't good enough. You got to really consider distribution, and distribution viewbots can really do wonders for. I don't know. To me, it just rubs me the wrong way. He then closes by talking about viewbot detection and how Twitch CEO mentioned it's a game of cat and mouse, and that really there's not a whole lot of like great information that he could find on how brands can detect viewbots or anything like that. And then he finishes the big takeaway. We've entered an era where good content alone isn't enough, distribution tactics are. When clipping, paid amplification, and even bots can artificially push you up the rankings, the playing field starts to tilt toward whoever is willing to game it. Twitch's detection tools feel reactive at best, and advertisers don't seem to have a reliable way to verify what's real. If botting becomes normalized, creators face a brutal question. Compete clean and risk invisibility, or bend the rules to survive. Long term, though, This erodes trust in the entire ecosystem. Again, he drives that point home about good content alone isn't enough, it's all about distribution tactics, and I just firmly disagree. Good content alone is sometimes enough. But again, it does take luck. It does. It always has, and it always will. Distribution tactics, though, he's right, can be gamified and boost your shit and immediately give you a better chance so you're not overly reliant on luck. If you'd rather focus instead on pay-to-win mechanics through, like, clippers and viewbots and stuff like that, then you would be entering the Thunderdome competing head-to-head, toe-to-toe with countless others who are doing that daily. That is very, very common. And in many, many cases, it's hard to tell if it's real or fake. So it is a legitimate problem, and it sucks that platforms don't do anything about it. He's not wrong about the core, that there is a huge problem because these platforms don't crack down on viewbots. Now everyone fucking does it, it seems. And it fucking blows. And I imagine he's right that it is a very real consideration for tons of streamers, like, well, why would I even bother trying to do this legitimately when everyone else is fucking cheating? Everyone else is viewbotting, so why wouldn't I? And it's hard to argue, like, because it's morally correct to, play fair. It would be hard to make someone be like, okay, then I'll do that and go nowhere unless I get fucking crazy lucky. When the alternative is apparently, like, cheap viewbots that give them a better chance. It's something that he's not wrong about in his assessment here. Again, I just find it weird that it feels like he's speaking on it, like, almost positively, like, you're at a huge disadvantage, you really need to think about this strategy that actually isn't all that expensive if you want to compete on an even playing field. Because at the end of the day, I don't think viewbots are something that should be encouraged. I don't think it should be twisted to the point where people consider viewbots like a strategy as opposed to just cheating. Because viewbots are bad for everyone. There's a reason why it's such a passionate topic for so many people. Because it sucks. It sucks for the people that aren't doing it, and it sucks for viewers too. Like, viewbots are just shitty overall, like, genuinely. So, like, it's not something that I'd like to see more people start being like, yeah, let's start really thinking about doing more viewbotting, as if there's not already enough. So, anyway, this was a very interesting post, to say the least, and I just wanted to yap about it. Something about Twitch that wasn't overwhelmingly negative. I can't even remember, it's been so long. Trying to remember a time where the Twitch higher-ups seemed in touch with the community is like trying to remember a dream. Like, it's just extremely hard. How long it's been since Twitch was doing things that people generally liked. For years now, it's just been rolling out features that nobody in the world has ever asked for and that contribute nothing to the platform. Anyone remember just a couple months back when they had their version of Super Chats, where they would take a paid message and then put it underneath the stream where nobody in the world could see it. So you were actually just throwing money into the void, just flushing it down your toilet, basically. God rest the soul of elevated chat. I'm sure all 3 people who ever used that feature are still distraught and mourning the loss of such an incredible monetization tool. Like, it is so misguided. Another feature that they've rolled out that I'm sure none of you even knew existed is something called Reacts, where you as a viewer while watching a stream can react to it, and all it does is you can send an emote at that very second you click react to let the streamer know what you thought of that moment, that second. So that way when the streamer goes to their dashboard, they can click on the reacts and see, like, oh, at minute 55 of my stream, I had 3 pogs. That must have been a really good moment. Like, it's fucking worthless features. It is nothing but horrible decisions from this company. They're making more bad choices than a college student who just took his first shot of Fireball. But unlike the college student, Twitch isn't drunk. They're just stupid. I'm getting heated. Of course, not everyone at Twitch is this silly. Like, not everyone's going wacko mode with these ideas. There are real people at Twitch that understand the platform, but they don't have the same power that the higher-ups do that are rolling out these awful decisions. Why am I talking about this? Well, it's because they've just revealed 2 new awful decisions over the last 24 hours. Now, one of them, admittedly, is not their fault. This comes with the layoffs. I will show you some clips from last night's stream where I really dive in deep on those. But the other one that not a lot of people have realized yet is they also made a statement on their sub-revenue split. You might remember, I also mentioned it recently in another video. Last year, towards the end of the year, Twitch announced that it would be getting rid of the 70-30 sub-revenue deal that they had with streamers. So now it would be 50-50 across the board, 70-30 would no longer exist, which means Twitch now offers the lowest amount of revenue to streamers in the entire industry. They're now at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to sub-splits across the board of every streaming platform, and by a wide margin. YouTube is 70-30. I mean, even Kick is like 90-10, I think, or even 95-5, I don't remember. But they offer the lowest split of subs, and it's not even close. And they really don't have any tools in place to try and make up for that, so instead they double down on ads, which is worse for everyone. Streamers don't like running ads. Viewers don't like watching ads. Thus, you're immediately killing the two people that make streaming work, streamers and viewers. You are rolling out things that neither side want. Their Galaxy Brain solution to the taking 20% away from the streamers is to force them to run more ads if they want to make up for that lost revenue. And streamers don't want to do that because that drives away their viewers. That's bad. I mean, sometimes the viewers will come back, but when you run an ad on Twitch, you lose viewers. It's just how it works because no one wants to sit through fucking 10 unskippable ads, so they'll go somewhere else. Maybe they come back, maybe they don't. And this is extremely detrimental because of pre-roll ads that play when you click on a stream for the first time. This is the nail in the coffin for a lot of smaller streamers where even if they're doing really cool content, a lot of people never find it because when they click on that stream and they get fucking 2 back-to-back 30-second ads, they just instantly leave and they'll never go back. So clearly it was a very controversial decision, one that a lot of people took issue with, and now Twitch is saying that we heard everything everyone was saying, it was a very loud conversation, and we laughed at all of you, and we're spitting in your face. We made the right decision, nerds. It's going to be 50-50 forever. So they're patting each other on the back, slapping their ass, saying, good game out there, team. They are taking their victory lap, letting us all know that 50-50 is here to stay forever, and then try and elaborate on why it's a good thing and how they're going to change their monetization model in order to make Twitch the #1 place to stream when it comes to revenue for streamers. And in the interview, they said, we talk a lot about how we're in this together, and part of that is innovation. We are committed to continuing to improve our monetization products and building new monetization products, and at the end of the day, we're committed to increasing the amount of money a streamer earns. Wow, such noble intentions with absolutely no way of delivering. One of the things Twitch is really going buck wild with is their ad incentive program, and here's what they had to say about that. Surprisingly, they did recognize that the intrusiveness of ads on Twitch is a big issue, one that they're trying to work on. So they said the acceptance and engagement on the ad incentive program far exceeded our expectations, so streamers are clearly seeing the value in running ads now. I like how they're saying that like a mark of pride. Streamers aren't happy about that, by the way. It's just that's their only option. In fact, if you go on Twitter and spend even just a couple of seconds typing in the Twitch ad incentive program, you'll see a lot of people outraged at it because a lot of the asks are huge for the ad incentive program, up to like fucking 7 minutes worth of ads. I've seen them. Like, for example, Caleb, Just Joel, streams often. He's shown me his ad incentive program. Rex Gunderson, he's shown me his. Like, the asks are not small, and the pay they're offering isn't huge for smaller streamers. Even in the rare instance where a couple of larger streamers posted their ad incentives where it was a lot of money for like fucking 6 or 7 minutes of ads per hour, they still, most of them chose not to do it because of how intrusive all of the ads were to the viewers. It just makes the experience of watching their stream awful. Having to be inundated with fucking 7 minutes of ads per hour is a lot when it comes to streaming. So a lot of them still just didn't choose to do it. The only reason there is any level of acceptance with the ad incentive program is because you have forced people to swallow this shit. Since there's now no longer a 70-30 deal or anything like that, the amount of sub revenue you can generate is significantly less. In fact, you'd probably make more money buying and reselling eggs right now than you would trying to rely on sub money on Twitch. Now going forward, Minton acknowledged the state of ads on the platform isn't perfect yet, and the company has taken steps to reduce their intrusiveness through static, in-player ads, and disabling pre-roll ads if creators display at least 3 minutes of ads per hour. We're really thinking about ad placement generally and ensuring that, as a viewer, when you're looking for a new community, that we're reducing the impact of ads. So they do recognize how it's very bad for small streamers when pre-rolls are playing. And right now their solution is, we'll just play more ads during your stream and we'll get rid of pre-rolls. Like, it's literally Ouroboros, just constantly fucking feeding on ads and eating its own tail. Everything is all about ads, and it's still intrusive. Like, it is still there. Like, pre-rolls will exist unless you are running ads throughout your stream. So I still also don't understand why skippable ads aren't on the platform when those are pretty commonplace. Like, I feel like skippable ads would at least help alleviate some of the headache there and make the ad breaks a little more palatable. But still, another thing that they mention is like all of their innovative tools they're working on to help creators monetize their content. They don't really shine a bright light on what all of those new innovations are looking like. Though I do imagine one of them they're talking about, because they do briefly mention like sponsorship opportunities through streaming on Twitch. And I think what they're talking about there is like something similar to the bounty board. Bounty board is something that's existed on Twitch for quite a few years now. Basically, companies will pay Twitch to have streamers of X amount of viewers stream their product for however many hours, and Twitch will give a portion of that money that the brand is paid to the streamer. I mean, in theory, like, the concept is actually pretty solid, right? If Twitch is going to facilitate brand deals like that and just put it right on your dashboard, that's a pretty decent idea. But most people have woken up to the fact that the deal is shit. Twitch is taking the lion's share of that brand deal, and the streamer is getting very, very little comparatively to what they would get if they just chased down the same deal themselves or with like an agency or something. Like, if you're going to do a stream deal through Twitch, you're better off just clicking on the bounty board to see who's looking for streamers and then reach out to the company yourself, or have your manager or whatever agency you're with reach out to them for you and let them know you're interested, because you'll get a much better rate that way. Because Twitch is taking almost all of it. Like, I don't know many people that still use the bounty board, because most people have realized this now. It is paying significantly less than had you just gotten the deal through any other means. So it's a decent idea in theory if Twitch wasn't taking so much of the brand deal. So I've been ranting about this for a while, but you can see there's a lot of problems that plague Twitch when it comes to streaming on there and trying to make a living off of it, which is why so many streamers are choosing to stream elsewhere. YouTube or Kick really are the two main competitors at the moment that people are switching to or starting with. And it's because you have a much better chance of making a living on those two platforms at the moment. Discoverability on Twitch used to be one of its strongest benefits, but currently Twitch doesn't really have an edge in that category anymore either, mainly because of what I mentioned earlier, pre-rolls. If you're towards the bottom and someone's willing to take a chance on your content, they click on it and they get a pre-roll, they left. They're most likely not going to stick around for that. Whereas if you started on YouTube or Kick, you just fire up your stream and your content's immediately accessible to anyone who might find it. So yeah, like, you just stand a better chance of getting found elsewhere outside of Twitch at the moment, I would argue at least. So there's a lot of problems plaguing Twitch right now. They've made it very clear that they're not exactly turning the profit they'd like to be turning, and the decisions they're making to try and be more profitable are only hurting their platform even further. So let's talk about the layoffs now. Twitch laid off 400 employees yesterday, and what's crazy is the employees don't even know who got laid off yet. So the employees are still fucking trembling in fear, wondering if they even have a job anymore. But this isn't a Twitch exclusive problem. I'm sure all of you know, all of the big tech businesses, the tech industry as a whole, experienced a lot of bloat over the last few years because of COVID. They hired a lot of people. Now they're firing a lot of those people because they don't need that many employees and they're not utilizing that many employees. Thus, they're making a lot of cuts. Amazon laid off like 9,000 people yesterday. So, of course, the 400 laid off at Twitch were a part of that. Yeah, we can talk about the Twitch stuff now. I see a lot of people coming after Twitch for the layoff. They laid off 400 staff members. I think it's very interesting that Dan Clancy, the new CEO of Twitch, is the one to make this announcement, as opposed to like a parting gift from Emmett Shear, the previous CEO. That was kind of surprising, because this is not really how you want to start your reign as the Twitch CEO, with 400 jobs taken away. But it's also not their fault. Amazon laid off 9K. So people need to realize that since Twitch is part of Amazon, this is part of the overall Amazon layoffs. I don't think Twitch itself was the one that kind of spearheaded it. Though I will say I think Twitch is a bloated company. I feel like losing 500 staff members isn't necessarily going to change too much about it. But I could be wrong. Maybe these are like really crucial members. But what's kind of fucked up about it is apparently the Twitch staff don't even know who's been fired. It sounds like huge corporate shit. Yeah, that is kind of wild that the employees themselves don't know if they've been laid off or not yet. I feel like they probably should have told them that they're fired before making the announcement. 400 employees fired out of 1,200 is fucking rough. Is that how many Twitch has? Is it 1,200? I don't know why, but I thought it was more. But yeah, I mean, it's not a small number by any means. But I do think Twitch was very bloated. I don't think you needed that many employees to begin with. They're clearly not utilizing them to their full potential. Like, I can count on one hand the amount of features they've rolled out over the last couple years, right? Like, they're clearly not being put to great use over there. But this wasn't like this wasn't explicitly a Twitch decision. This is just the entire tech industry. I don't remember where the source was now, but there's a whole article written up about the collapse of the tech industry jobs right now. I believe they cited that because of COVID, all of these companies panic hired a ton of people because they thought they'd need significantly more employees to like run remote and all of that. So all of these companies really exploded with the amount of people on their payroll over COVID. And now that that's not going on anymore, they just have all of these, like this wild list of employees that they don't use and they don't need anymore. So now they're letting them all go all at once. So it's just everything we thought we knew changed forever. It was like when Albert Einstein came up with the theory of relativity. It's all been shaken now. I still remember the glory days before August 29th, 2022, living in an ignorant bliss, naive to how corrupt Twitch had become with their enforcement of their own rules. That's right, August 29th is a date that will go down in infamy as the day that Twitch showed its true face and brought with it a catastrophe, a devastating Coombs Day, when a streamer got fucked live on Twitch and Twitch responded with the lightest ban of all time. I already talked about this in a video, but I wanted to follow up because they've decided to stick with their initial decision of a 7-day ban. So a week ago now, a streamer by the name of Kimika had sex live on Twitch, while an entire marching band clapped and cheered her on in the chat. It was about 100 concurrent viewers at the time. I don't know if the coitus actually reached its climax. I couldn't tell you because she got banned before anyone finished, except for some of the people in the chat, I'm sure. But overall, a very successful stream because normally she averages like 20 viewers, and this one, it was triple digits. So she got paid a visit by old Saint Nicholas, and it was broadcast live on Twitch, and she paid the iron price. She got banned. And you would expect that Twitch would crack down pretty hard on it, since this is their #1 golden rule that you can't bend and you cannot break. Streamers have been banned for months if they wore clothing that was too revealing. So having full-blown, cheek-clapping, ham-steaming sex on Twitch, you would expect there to be some pretty big consequences, a permanent ban. But that wasn't the case. Twitch decided to not even give like a slap on the wrist. They gave just a playful little tap on the tuchus. They gave her a 7-day ban, and now she's back to streaming, and her return stream has been her biggest stream ever, clocking in at 800 viewers at one point, blowing her previous numbers out of the water, and skyrocketing her follower count from 30 to right around 2K right now, 2 to 4K. For some reason, I'm getting mixed data. On Twitch, it shows 2K, but on some of the Twitch tracking sites, it shows 4K. But regardless, she's had a massively positive gain from this whole thing. Alright, thanks to Caleb and I doing some super sleuthing, we've cracked the case. The reason why there's a big follower discrepancy as well as peak viewership discrepancy is because she had 2 accounts. On one of her accounts, she broadcast the Gland-to-Gland combat, and this is the account that gained 4,000 followers. The account with 4K followers, she closed, but she did a comeback stream on there, and there is still some clip evidence of it. So here you can see her most viewed clips are from September 4th, the comeback stream, 27,000 views, which is significantly more than she was getting before the penis meets vagina incident. And she gained a lot from it. Not only on Twitch, but one of her socials gained 100,000 followers on there. So just an absolutely genius marketing strategy to just fuck on Twitch and just profit. And she closed this account, like I said, she threw it away like a crusty cum towel. However, she does have another account that's still active and I'm imagining is the one she's going to be using going forward. And that's the account that's gained 2,000 followers. And it's also an affiliate because you can subscribe to it. I don't know if it was an affiliate pre-coitus or post-coitus. I'm really not sure. I can't imagine Twitch banned her and then rewarded her for having sex with an affiliate deal, but who knows? Twitch seems so mismanaged when it comes to their rules, it's baffling. But what I want to talk about is what this means going forward. Twitch has set a precedent with this, and it's not just this, there's been plenty of other examples, but this is by far their biggest because it was just blatantly having sex live on Twitch, which so far hasn't been done before outside of just rebroadcasting porn. This was a streamer having sex live, and Twitch's response was a very light ban. So what does this mean? This means that any streamer going forward might honestly consider this as an actual tactic for growth. This was only her 8th stream ever, I think. I was going through all of her previous broadcasts, and I'm pretty sure this was her 8th stream. She had only streamed, I think, 24 hours in total across her entire streaming career until she fucked. And once she did that, that's when she had all of this massive growth from it. Prior to this incident, she would get between 20 and 50 viewers per stream. After this incident, so far she's only had one stream, but she never dropped under like 150. So it was extremely successful. It really does feel like a viable strategy for Twitch, since it seems like they don't care that much about it. So if I was writing a WikiHow guide on gaining followers on Twitch, this would be on the list of best practices. Just full-blown fuck. Get your back blown out on Twitch and take a 7-day vacation, come back to more viewers, more money, more followers. It's like an actual life hack. Want to get Twitch famous and become a big live streamer? Just have sex on cam. You'll be shocked at how well it works. Doctors don't want you to know this one simple trick. It's really just pretty sad. There are people that have been banned for so long for such little things. Again, Gideon is still permanently banned for one instance of bad behavior on rating another streamer with mean words. And yet, somehow, the biggest possible sin you can commit on Twitch is only a 7-day ban and is nothing but rewarding for the streamer that did it. It's just crazy. Their priorities are so out of whack, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. I would love for them to explain how this constituted only a 7-day ban. And I do genuinely wonder if this will become a more popular trend after people see how successful this was for Kimika. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I was absolutely blown away. I was expecting Twitch to not unban her, just quietly make it a permaban instead of making a big song and dance out of it, but no, it seems like they're pretty adamant that having sex on their service is not that big of an issue. So, oh well. Streamer on Twitch right now. This is an argument that a lot of people like to engage in. It becomes this ferocious debate, and most people usually go to like the top sub channels or the channels with the most viewers, so you'll have people talking about XQC being the face of Twitch, or Kai Cenat, or Jinxie. However, if you ask me, I think the most influential streamer on Twitch right now is Morgpie. She defines the meta on Twitch. She is the primordial soup from which the meta evolves from. It's like that scene in Prometheus where they have the engineer drink that shit and then it basically seeds life on Earth. That is her to the sexual content community on Twitch. And she is so powerful that the Twitch policy team has to constantly be monitoring her at her mercy, basically. She has the Twitch meta wrapped around her finger when it comes to this niche of content. You probably know her name because she was the pioneer that innovated the topless meta, the implied nudity meta, which went hog wild. This was so big that the Twitch policy team actually had to come forward and make a statement and a guidelines update kind of addressing all of these things. She did receive a ban for it, but like Michael Jordan in his prime, you can't stop Morgpie, you can only hope to contain her. She's actually received 6 bans so far, 4 of which came within a month of each other. There's been 2 in December alone. And she's showing no signs of slowing down. It's like Galactus. She's on a rampage right now, looking for new ways to innovate in the sexual content on Twitch. Now, she also, shortly after being unbanned, engaged in a new emerging meta that also blew up called the censored black bar meta, where streamers would be assumed nude and have black bars over their genitals. And this was another meta for which she participated and helped elevate to new heights. And it got so big that Boogie actually went on stream just completely naked, just stripped down to his bare necessities here, his birthday suit. His explanation for this head-scratching display was that his body self-censors itself, Because his gut hangs down so low, you can't see his wiener or his scrotum or anything like that. His nutsack is fully hidden, so if the black bars on nude streamers are permissible on Twitch, then him being completely naked should be permissible because you can't see anything. He did receive a ban for it, and I believe other streamers that were engaging in this censor bar meta also received a ban for it. But Morgpie has been unbanned again, and she immediately hopped back on the saddle with another wacky idea here. She's like the Jimmy Neutron of sexual content on Twitch, just constantly having these brain blasts for new things to try. And I just have to show you this most recent one because it is just downright comical.
Oh my god. No annoying neighbors.
There is just so much going on here, so many layers to this onion to pick apart. This is like a Rube Goldberg machine of sexual content. I don't even know where to begin. So let's just start with the visuals here. There's so much here in this one frame. Let's focus our attention on the very tiny kiddie pool behind her. The smallest pool that Walmart has ever offered. It's a fucking kiddie pool for ants. It's like 1 foot by 1 foot, and she has like the littlest amount of water in there. Like 2 glasses worth of water in there, basically. But the reason that's there is because Twitch has a policy where you can't be in like a bikini or a bathing suit unless there's a pool in proximity. So that's her way around that so she can get in the hot tubs category. She then also has a mirror positioned behind her so you can see her ass jiggling on the earthquake machine that she's balancing on. I don't exactly know what that device is, the Ass Jiggler 5000. She's going to town on a shake weight, and then she also has a small piece of paper with her Twitch link there, her username, twitch.tv/morgpie. That's there because she knows these clips go viral on Twitter, so it's easy marketing and easy advertisement, so that way you can immediately see where it comes from.
Reading the signs of my body. I want tonight, no hips don't lie. Not a lumberjack, thank you for the prime.
Consider yourself lucky. We're bearing witness to a once-in-a-generation savant, a genius in the laboratory cooking up a brand new meta right before our eyes. So that's kind of the whole gist of it. Stand on top of the whole body vibrator, shaking the shake weight, and then thanking subs by, you know, getting the thangs thangin'. And that's the idea behind it. This is still brand new, so it hasn't caught fire yet. But we'll see. We'll see if this one catches on the same way the topless and censor bar meta did. But at the end of the day, this really is a Twitch itself problem. They don't crack down on any of this in any meaningful way. They give like a day ban, like a 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour ban for this. And that's not like a really severe punishment. She is one of the fastest growing channels on Twitch because of doing these things. So she's not going to stop. Why would she? It really is a classic case of don't hate the player, hate the game. And the game is, they're not even playing the game. Twitch is just so hands off on all this. They seem to roll back that artistic nudity policy almost immediately and then called it quits. Like, it doesn't seem like this kind of content they want there because they do keep issuing short bans. But they don't take any real stance and they don't make any statements on it. So why would Morgpie or any of the other streamers stop doing it? It makes them a ton of money. It grows all of their socials wildly fast. And again, if Twitch isn't saying anything or doing anything to stop it, then obviously they're not going to stop providing this content to the platform because it makes them so much money. Now, I do think Morgpie is going to catch another short ban, but I speculate, I theorize that she'll be back with another really wild idea, and I am super curious as to what the next meta she tries to bring forth will look like. I'm anticipating the next one has even more bells and whistles, like there'll be a 6-camera setup or something, right? And one of them's like an endoscopy cam, so you can actually see her vocal folds when she says thank you to the subs or something. Like, I'm just now very curious as to like her think tank that is coming up with these ideas, because this one is so wild to me. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because the Twitch meta, when it comes to this kind of content, is really going wild over the last month. So, I don't know. It's a ton over the last 5 or so months, or however long I've been streaming on YouTube, why I don't stream on Twitch. I do stream on Twitch occasionally with my friends, but I get asked why I don't solo stream on Twitch. So I figured I might as well make a video addressing that question. It's because I don't like Twitch. Now I know me saying that may be very disturbing to some of you. It probably elicits the same response as if you tell a child Santa Claus isn't real, nothing but shock and disgust. How can you not like Twitch? It's the best website on the internet with a staff that truly understands its users and looks out for their well-being. It takes us to school and packs our lunch. It really knows us and it wants us to do well in the world. Well, let me explain why I don't like Twitch, and please don't misinterpret this as me standing up for YouTube streaming. I have never, and probably never will, stand up for YouTube because they just don't know who the fuck is using their platform or how to make this website any better. It's like that uncle that buys you shit you don't want for Christmas and you don't know what to do with it except wipe your fucking ass with it. But when it comes to streaming, I think YouTube is the more fair streaming service. I do think Twitch is the superior platform though. It's a lot easier to find new content creators there. It's really easy to navigate the sections on Twitch and find all types of different shit. Whereas on YouTube, it's a very counterintuitive design. It's really hard to find new things. You have to pretty much fucking jack into the FBI mainframe, extrapolate a whole bunch of data, walk it through an ANOVA test and SPSS. All types of stupid fucking hoops you have to jump through to find anything. It's very poorly designed. But YouTube fucks everyone equally. In terms of streaming, in terms of content creation, YouTube just fucks everyone uniformly. Everyone gets the same amount of fuck. They're like a tidal wave of fucking. Nobody is safe if they're in that tidal wave. But on Twitch, it's like a geostorm contraption of fucking. It targets people to fuck that they don't agree with, whereas other people can just get a pass. They don't follow their own rules. YouTube has these rules, albeit very vague, but they adhere to them and they fuck everyone the same based on those rules, whereas Twitch has these rules and it doesn't fuck everyone the same. It favors the female streamers that show a lot of titties, camel toes, and ass. As I said, Twitch's motto, no camel toe, time to go. So if you go on to the mess that is the IRL section, it's predominantly dominated by female streamers pretty much flashing tits and doing squats for subs. Here's a good example. This is a streamer named Pink Sparkles. She even self-admits to being a titty streamer, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But Twitch's rules prohibit something like this. They explicitly say no overtly sexual behavior. If you're labeling yourself a titty streamer, doesn't that kind of indicate the nature of your content is overtly sexual? And that's all the content there is. She doesn't do anything. This whole stream was her just kind of wiggling around out of her seat, doing squats occasionally, and mainly just eating a fucking sandwich, while her chat room, which consists of very sad, lonely men and underage boys, were on the edge of their seat. Oh, come on, finish that sandwich for me, baby girl. Oh, I'm about to come right out of my nipples. Is that a squat? I see butt cheek. Holy shit, those are ass cheeks. And Poopy leaves from the train station that's in the middle of the ass cheeks. This is incredible. To me, it's sad, but I don't really have a problem with the streams themselves. I don't think they're quality content or anything, but people are going to like different things, and that's something everyone has to accept. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the Twitch staff when it comes to this. They have this rule. They should at least be commenting on it. If they truly believe that these aren't overtly sexual, they should explain why they're not. But they don't do that, and instead they'll go and ban male streamers who accidentally maybe slip up and show a picture of a boobie. Whereas these streamers a lot of times will have nip slips, show their whole pussy, and nothing happens to them. Which is odd because the Twitch staff is so ban hungry they ban people for almost no reason. There was a man that I watched who wore a tank top that accidentally showed his nipple on stream, and he was banned for an overtly sexual stream. Permanently banned for that. I also saw someone get banned because they got punched in the chest on stream. They didn't plan to get punched on the chest, but they got banned for self-harm because they put themselves in the way of that fist. That's like some Bushido samurai type shit for punishment. You didn't block the sword with your hand. Go into the punishment room and take 3 fingers off of your left hand now. Twitch plays favorites. They treat their site like it's fucking camsoda.com. And there's a lot of these streamers that show a lot of cleavage and just do very sexual streams to just get a lot of money out of the sad men watching them that have gone on stream and said they will never get banned because Twitch staff is basically in their pocket. Here's a clip from one of them.
Report stream. Bulls. You know those reports go in the trash, right? Twitch staff told me so. Just saying. You're just wasting your time.
Thank you, Gal Gadoosh, for being honest with all of us here. This stream has a dedicated ass cam and vagina cam. I don't know how you could possibly defend this not being overly sexual. Even she seems to realize it is, but knows that there's not going to be any repercussions because Twitch staff likes her and they jerk off to her streams. I've mentioned Hassan before because he's the most famous example of the Twitch staff favoritism. His old following list was nothing but titty streamers for the most part, so I imagine he had like 8 different monitors, each with a different titty stream up, just taking it all in and enjoying his masturbatorium. All of this that I've said, I really wouldn't have a problem with if they would enforce the rules fairly. Just today, for example, a streamer by the name of Trainwrecks got banned for 5 days because he did some really dumb, stupid sounding speech that sounded like something you'd read on the r/incel subreddit. I'm assuming it was a joke, but it was still a really shitty joke. It was like some Braveheart shit. You can take our land, but you can't take our virginities, that we'll hold on to. And he also called out a streamer by the name of ST Peach, and the assumption is he got banned for calling her out because one of Twitch's rules is you can't really insult other streamers. It's against their rules. So he got banned, and I agree, he should have been banned. It was clearly against the rules. But ST Peach did the same thing. She started insulting Trainwreck's girlfriend and his relationship with his girlfriend and everything about Trainwrecks, and she didn't get banned. So clearly there's a discrepancy there where she's just above the rules because she's hot. And that's very clear. There's countless examples I could give, but I'm not going to go into more. I think I've ranted long enough, and I've made it very clear that Twitch staff plays favorites, and that many of the streamers are just above the rules. I don't want to be on a platform like that. I feel like it's a platform run by middle school children who've never seen boobies before. It's just a platform that has no fairness to it. And I'm not saying YouTube is the ideal pinnacle of fairness, because it's absolutely not. But at least YouTube isn't bending the knee to hot girls. Everyone is getting fucked all the same. And there's a certain comfort to that because you know that you are not being singled out because they don't like you. You're getting fucked because they're fucking everybody. And that's why I prefer YouTube. It's at least a little bit more fair than Twitch. So hopefully that clears up why I don't stream on Twitch solo.
Of the Internet Strangest websites. This is the final and technically 4th part
Let's
of the
go,
series. So I made
dark
a playlist you
web.
can check out at the top right of the screen if you want to
I've
watch all
seen
the
that
episodes.
movie.
For my safety
Unfriended.
and yours, I will not be sharing the links. Go watch the other parts of this series. Anyway, in case you guys don't know about the dark web, you can only access it using Tor web browser, not Google Chrome, not Firefox, not Internet Explorer. I don't know why you would use that anyway. This allows you to go into.
Well, it's not called
websites
Internet
that
Explorer now, it's Edge.
The websites usually consist of random numbers. In the last video, we covered the basics, and this time I just decided
Tor was made by the CIA.
and clicking. So
Is that true? I remember that rumor floating around back when I was learning what the dark and deep web and shit was. Was Tor actually made by the CIA? It was made by the Navy. Oh, there's like a fucking civil war in the chat. Was it the Navy or the CIA? On Tuesday, the CIA announced its own Tor Onion service. So the CIA, I guess, is getting into the dark web space. What are they, like, releasing dark web NFTs? I don't know, this is a weird announcement from 2019. The United States Naval Research Laboratory. I'm assuming it's just the first thing that popped up. Yeah, it looks like it was the Navy. So besides like arms purchasing and like illegal shit, what is the point of the dark web? Like, I can't imagine people are accessing the dark web going through Tor to look up like video game walkthroughs. That seems like there's no way that happens on the dark web. Who's going on the dark web like, bruh, I'm really looking to buy some crocodile. Oh, someone's selling. All right, here's my credit card info. No one's typing that shit in on the dark web. No fucking chance. No one's dumb enough to do that, right? College kids? Nah, I don't believe that for even a second. Nobody would. They're absolutely using like Monero or some kind of crypto or something. They're not going to be using like their actual just fucking Visa card.
Revenge. Now you might be saying, we already covered revenge in the last video. Yes, but those websites were taken down. Won't be sharing the name of the website, but I'll show you guys the layout. So right out of the gate, you're given a list of female names to browse through. If you click on a name...
This used to exist on the surface web for what it's worth. Tuv even covered it once. There used to be a website that was all for revenge porn, and eventually the guy who ran it faced, how many years in jail? I don't remember how many, but yeah, he got fucking blasted. But this was something back in the early internet days that existed just on, you could go on AOL and just look at revenge porn. It was fucking crazy. He got 18 years? Was it 18 years? You might be right.
member. There are two options: the lifetime basic.
Yeah,
and
see,
the
buy with
lifetime
Bitcoin.
premium.
You're not
Lifetime
typing in
basic
credit
costs
card info.
$150 and includes lifetime membership, daily updates, 101 gigabytes in leaked amateur content, which is 69,300
Jesus
photos,
Christ.
and 3,405 video, and plus a VIP section, an IP cam section, spy cam
What?
recordings, NAS Synology section, and unsorted content, which apparently they have 10 terabytes worth of. So yeah, the IP cam
Holy
section, it's
shit.
like, dude, I feel so bad for the girls that don't even know their laptop is hacked and people are just watching them. Random people are just watching them. Go.
That's another crazy thing. Do you guys remember that back in early internet days? There was a time, I don't remember if it was Macs, but there was some laptop that shipped with a webcam built in, and it was extremely easy to access. So easy, in fact, there was a website set up on Surface Web where it would just be like a roulette. You just click a button and it'd take you to some random guy's webcam. You could just watch them living their lives. Was it Dell? It might have been Dell. Yeah, so you just have this roulette of just watching people's lives through their webcam. They had no idea. It was fucking wild. It was wild. So then, like, it was such a big deal that eventually the experts were like, if you own this laptop, just put a piece of tape over the webcam. Otherwise, you are most likely being watched.
You exist. But I just want to let you guys know that. And I'll provide some Amazon links in case you guys want to buy some webcam covers. Disgusting fantasies.
You don't want to look at my webcam? Yeah, like... It's just one of those fucking creepy things, man. I don't think looking through those webcams ever really, like, nothing, like, crazy ever happens. But it's still just fucking scary to think about.
If you are not of legal age, or if this type of material is not legal in your jurisdiction, do not enter. This site contains absolutely no videos, photos, 3D rendered art, or other illustrations of or adults. If you're looking for any of that, you're in the wrong place. It's basically saying, we have a bunch of these, like...
Shit's like a
fantasy
Tumblr
stories
blog.
about...
The fuck?
Not only that, but they have two pedophilic prevention campaign advertisements to deter the users from doing anything in real life. They're obviously only doing this so it seems like, hey, we're actually the good guys. We're preventing this stuff from happening in real life, when in reality they're just providing the acceptance, normalization, and culture of files.
That is something that is... I've seen this on Twitter. There's a verified account, couple 100,000 followers from what I recall. They have this belief that if we could just use AI to generate fake children for porn, it would solve pedophiles. There is a group of people that genuinely believe that providing, like, more child porn but without real people, that it would somehow get rid of, like, pedophiles. It is the most ass-backwards idea ever. It's fucking disgusting. They've made this post like, this is where I think deepfakes need to go. We need to create deepfakes of children in pornographic settings, so that way people would no longer be incentivized to use real children in child porn. It blew my fucking mind, and there were people supporting that. Like, all that does is provide more child porn for pedophiles, and make the market even bigger for people to fucking film that shit in the real world. It's crazy. It's crazy. Twitter is just the most outrageous wasteland of horrible ideas. That's what this just reminded me of. I think it was actually Mudahar who commented on that. I don't remember what the account was that was talking about it. I know they deleted it shortly thereafter.
Minor, and it's still illegal to have on your device. Take Lolly, for example. Even though they're just drawings, you can be arrested and charged with a crime if you possess lolicon in any form. Other countries have also...
Oh, wait, let me read that. I didn't know that. Is that real? You can actually get arrested for Lolly? So what is Twitter talking about then where it's like, it's not illegal? In fact, lolly is something to be celebrated.
So enacted laws making lolicon. We offer the best collection of real snuff and authentic R-word pictures and video clips.
Jesus
Thousands
Christ.
of photos, videos, comics, and books. Join us for your very special never forget experience. For a small one-time fee, you have unlimited access forever. We add always new forbidden content, completely safe and anonymous.
Jesus.
The document. The stuff on that document is absolutely fucking insane.
The
worst part is that they provide image proof. So, they provide image proof by using these web links. Everything that I'm about to say is real.
They use Reddit?
They provide some video proof too. I did check out some of them, and oh my god, I never want to go back. Like, deadass, I never want to fucking go back. I never want to see those images again. But it is real. I'm letting you guys know. This shit is real. Let's go over the document. I was actually kind of stupid and I downloaded the fucking text document. I don't know why I downloaded it. I downloaded something from the dark web. It's on my computer now. It's just a
It's like a J-Station video. I downloaded some shit from the dark web. Now all of a sudden I'm an 8-foot smurf. I accidentally drank the Amogus potion at 3 a.m. from the dark web. Jesus Christ, Tough.
Yeah. So the first thing they're claiming to sell are guns. We have sniper rifles, Mossberg 500, TOZ rifles, Kalashnikov rifles. I've never heard of that. But it says made in Russia, not China, from the other video. So let's just get into something shocking. This one, bro, this is what really got me. Video filmed according to your script with torture, R-word, snuff, etc. We need from you how many actors will be, race, gender, and your script/scenario. I can't believe I'm
Jesus
this,
Christ.
The youngest actor we had, 4 days after she is born. The oldest actor we had, 93-year-old woman.
Holy
I'm assuming
fuck.
it's kidnapped people, blended up babies in smoothies. A classic smoothie is a drink made from pure raw fruit and or vegetables using a blender. Classic smoothie is a healthy
No
type of
fucking
cocktail
shot.
that you can drink for breakfast or a bit later. But we have a special smoothie. It's made from newborns. We place in blender the newborn with or without legs/hands.
Nah,
/head
that-
at your
no
request,
fucking shot.
And blend until the mixture is source smoothies from newborns strictly in the refrigerator or cool place.
That one seems very
You can
fake.
also buy male and female genitalia, just like they're obviously they
I don't know
kill
about that
someone,
one.
cut
That
it
one
off,
doesn't
and
seem
send it
like
to
a
you.
real thing.
Safe and secure container will be transferred and marked as for medical school. So they got their own methods to.
That's CIA
it's
bait.
legit. They have
Yeah, it
drugs,
definitely
they have
seems like
methamphetamine,
bait.
Cocaine, and why does that even matter? What? By reading the names, I recognize some of them. It's extremely fucking illegal. They're also selling the Logan Paul video. You guys know which one, which is a complete shock to me. It was like a YouTuber on this list. What was going on? But you know what Logan Paul video I'm talking about.
Can't you just find
It
that
says
on
it's at
archive.org?
60 FPS. Here's
Why would
another
you buy
video,
that
penis
on the
out
dark
through
web?
meat grinder.
Pretty sure it's
For
on
that one, I actually
archive.org.
did check out their image proof and like
It makes it
seriously.
tier 1
And
Ash.
you guys don't worry about my mental health. A lot of people comment like, I hope your mental health is good. It's good, bruh. I'm gonna go play GTA after this, right? But thank you guys so much for just
Yeah, it was the
supporting.
Logan Paul Forest
honestly,
video.
It's a blessing.
I'm
It's a
I'm pretty sure
fucking
it's on
blessing.
archive.org.
You guys, like, don't worry about me. Go on with your life, and I'll see you guys. Actually, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time I upload.
Nice. So besides like illegal shit, is there any reason to go on the dark web? I know Mudahar's made a few videos on like other things besides like the worst shit on there, but what else is there? Besides just a bunch of illegal shit. To get around taxes? Like there's like accountants on there? You could charge for like services to evade taxes or something? That's more just illegal shit though. I'm saying like besides all illegal shit, people just go there to hang out sometimes. Oh, well, if it was made by the Navy, then why the hell was it made and has a bunch of illegal stuff on it? Well, the reason it has a bunch of illegal stuff on it is because the anonymity. That's like the whole point of the dark and deep web. As for why it was made, that I don't really know. It's probably to get around like surveillance or something maybe. I'm just spitballing. He's a tier 1 poopy ranger. Let's see what crimes were caught on Twitch. Off the top of my head, can I think of any crimes? Turkey, the Turkish community on Twitch was recently just caught in a massive scandal of money laundering through Twitch bits and donations. That's probably on here. What else? CSGO Lotto? Would that be on here, you think?
Twitch started off as Justin
Prime
TV.
Raptor.
A man strapped the camera to his head and would live stream everything that happened to him 24/7. Eventually, the site
Yup.
grew and welcomed people from all over the world to
I used
live
to stream on
The
Justin
company had a
TV.
name change, which we now know as Twitch, and in 2014 was bought out by Amazon for $970 million. The first thing I want to do is talk about the horrible Twitch staff. Now, it's very known that Twitch has some, let's say, biased
Wow.
staff. Every
Coming
other
in
month, it
hot.
seems like a female streamer gets banned and then unbanned within the same week, whereas a
God
male streamer
damn.
will get banned for the same thing, if not something less harmful, and end up getting permanently banned. This has been proven time and time again, with the most recent case being about Narcissa Wright, a Twitch streamer that literally tweeted
Narcissa
out,
Wright.
"I want to kill myself and shoot people at Twitch headquarters."
That story
Ha,
is
ha, ha,
very
ha, ha.
sad,
Who was
honestly.
banned, and then what do you know? Unbanned a few days later. I mean, if you ask me, that should have been a permanent ban, but no. We see in this tweet here that they're reducing her ban, and basically, you know, she got unbanned, is what I'm trying to say.
Point is, Twitch, I see where your bans come. I see where they come from, but it's like to me,
Where's the bits, Alex?
it's just like this situation. Shoot people at the Twitch headquarters.
Should be a permanent ban. Now, why? Are the Twitch staff just full of simps? Yeah. And in all honesty, it does seem like Twitch has favorites. Sometimes the reasoning for people getting banned is so stupid, but then if a female does it, again, this is not every
Now,
single
correct me
case.
if I'm wrong. Wasn't she rebanned after being... Or... Wasn't she rebanned after being unbanned and then banned again. I'm pretty sure they did correct that mistake. The whole Narcissa Wright story is extremely sad, though. That situation is horrible. I don't think many people know like the whole lore behind Narcissa Wright, but it's a honestly really sad story. Tell it? I can give the cliff notes. Back in the early days of Twitch, really Twitch was built on the back of speedrunning for a little while, like Siglimic, Cosmo Wright. Really the two of them were like pillars of streaming content on Twitch and started to really get a lot of headlines, and then eventually ADGQ was rolling around, AGDQ started popping off. Cosmo Wright was a prolific speedrunner in Zelda games, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, all of that. And then over time, started to lose interest in speedrunning. I remember, I think it was 2016, Cosmo Wright entered into a Nintendo-sanctioned competition with a guy named John Numbers, where they were playing Mario Maker as a contest, and Cosmo Wright got blown out and didn't really return to streaming after that, if I recall correctly. And then after that, Cosmo Wright's mental health seemed a little spotty from what people were seeing. Eventually, Cosmo Wright transitions into Narcissa Wright, and from there, the streams that she would do were really focused on like really negative things, and it was very like a toxic environment. Eventually, Narcissa stopped streaming for a while, and what I understood is that she just outright stopped altogether. And then she posted that tweet about wanting to kill herself, and then the Twitch staff, which obviously turned a lot of heads as like, hey, what the fuck is this? So that's where the story's at. There's a lot more nuance to it, but that's kind of like the Cliff Notes breakdown. That whole story there, a lot of like sad and unfortunate things happened along the way. But since I was so big into watching Siglimic, Cosmo, that whole community of speedrunners, it's something I actively followed for a really long time.
Stephen Heyman. On August 31st, 2018, Stephen
I don't
Heyman and
recognize
John
him.
DiPietro, I hope I said that right, were on their way to Dragon Con, a convention made for gamers, comic
Is that a real
enthusiasts,
thing?
science fiction fans, and more.
Sounds like a
Stephen
joke,
was
like
streaming
Dragon
the whole
D's
thing.
nuts.
This is called IRL streaming. In Atlanta, Georgia, a man is seen approaching John and pins him to the ground. We can't see much, but we do get a full view of what the man looks like.
JP, just let go. JP, just let go.
What the fuck is happening?
JP, just let go of it. JP, just let go of it.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You can hear
Well, that was
Stephen
awfully
repeatedly
calm.
say, JP, just let go. And this is due to what I'm assuming is John not wanting the man to take his camera, which the man did end up stealing. From the reports I've
Oh,
read,
wow.
it seems like the man was never caught. The YouTube comments were full of, L friend, this dude is such a bad friend, and comments like that. But honestly, that was the best thing to do. You don't know if someone is carrying a knife or a firearm, and your life really isn't worth getting killed over something as simple as a camera or your wallet, when you could just
Love how the dude
reorder all
didn't
your
help.
credit card.
Bro, you're not gonna just give up the camera. Everyone shits on Dale Brown for giving like survival advice for how to like survive in an intense situation and disarm the attacker, and you guys give him shit. But the optimal thing to do is to not fight back. Just give your camera. Again, like Tuv just said, could have a knife, could have a gun, and that guy's big as fuck. That guy was significantly more jacked than Steven here. Just give up the fucking camera. Like, I guarantee if this guy did fight back and got his ass beat, people would give him much more shit anyway. Or he could have lost his life over it for a camera.
The police officer explains the call and asks Mr. Big for his name. Mr. Big explains that he doesn't need to give him any sort of information.
Oh boy, you
and
went
it's
full Reddit.
honestly a pretty long and petty back and forth from both of them, up until the cop places Mr. Big under arrest. I would say wrongfully place him under arrest. I mean, he did have his right to not say anything. Cops can always arrest you based on suspicion. You know, it didn't seem in the clip like there was any suspicion of anything other than just the way Mr. Big was acting. Anyway, so Mr. Big gets arrested, right? They leave and they close the door. So a few minutes after the arrest, the door opens and reveals a neighbor, presumably the one that made the complaint, walking in and stealing a pair of shoes and a headset. He then returns and steals what seems to be his phone and a watch. I tuned into Mr. Big's Twitch page, and to my surprise, he still streams. Well, he took a break and is back and averages about 5 to 10 viewers.
That's
so I decided to ask
fucked.
him a couple questions.
What
and
a
he was
galaxy
nice enough to
brain
answer.
scheme,
Make sure to
though.
show him some love and make sure to tell
Fucking
him I sent
supervillain
him.
mastermind.
I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, he was charged. He was
nice.
a career criminal, man. Had a lengthy criminal history. I think he did 3 years for that shit. His name.
I tried looking his name up in like a Washington police directory or something. I checked a lot of websites and I did not find a Jeremy Frost ad. It's not that I don't believe you, Mr. Big, it's just that I would have liked to pull up his mugshot. RickyBot. RickyBot was a 43-year-old
I don't know this one
man who
either.
streamed himself playing Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Y'all
yes, I
remember
do.
that?
Yes, I do,
Pokemon Go
actually.
is a mobile game which requires you to go
I do know this
outside
one.
in order to catch different. Since the man stole 3 cell phones and the camera itself. RickyBot was taken to a local hospital with a laceration on the side of his head and a swollen right cheek. That same night, Ricky put out a series of tweets reading, "I got mugged playing Pokemon Go in Central Park. Still talking to police and will go to the hospital soon. My jaw is a mess. Thanks all. My Twitch account got suspended. Literally insult to injury." Hashtag
Yeah, that's another fucked up thing that Twitch used to do. I don't know if they still do. If a crime gets captured on stream, or like something like that, I guess, where you get your ass beat on stream, they just ban the account outright, which is weird. I remember there was that guy who was involved in a hit and run while streaming. At least I think it was a hit and run. Oh, no. There was a streamer who, while streaming IRL, accidentally captured like a shootout, I think it was. Like a guy shot at a car on his stream, and the guy got banned for it. It's really like a weird policy they have in that department when you capture something like that. That's technically against TOS, but you had no control over it, and it would also be good evidence. So I don't know why they'd like take it down. But yeah, that was something they did for all of those kind of cases. I remember that. I don't know if they still do though. Yeah.
So if I'm streaming, right, I have a malicious friend for some reason in my house, right? He comes in, says a slur, runs out. I'm getting banned, right? It's, I hate it so much. And this poor man got pinned down to the ground and robbed. And Twitch is like, oh, nah, that's violent. Take it down. It's like, there's a lot of stuff about Twitch that rubs me the wrong
that policy
way.
is
Anyway,
terrible.
In case you're wondering how Ricky is doing now.
How do they justify it? Because I know they even put out a statement about it. I'm kind of curious. Where can I find those guidelines? Again, I don't know if they still do it though. But where can I find it? Because I'm curious what they did to defend it. They don't want people faking it for clout. I remember bits and pieces back with the guy who captured a shooter on stream. I think they said something like, we're doing it to keep the VOD private for everyone involved and sharing it with the police or something. Thanks for your subcatamon. I don't remember. If I could just remember what that case was, I'm sure I could find their tweet about it that clarified. Does anyone remember what it was? Because it was a pretty big one. That one got mainstream attention. A streamer had captured like a shootout on stream on Twitch. It was valuable information for the crime, and they banned the account, which then made it inaccessible. Was it North Hollywood shootout? Man, what the fuck? This was 1997 North Hollywood shootout. I remember that. This was not Twitch, you fucking asshole. That one though changed law enforcement drastically. So this is totally unrelated to anything we're watching here with the Twitch crimes. This shootout is fucking crazy. So 2 robbers were armed to the teeth, like full-blown juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. And they robbed a store, and the police showed up, and they just started blasting. Like, the guys full auto, just letting it all hang loose. Oh, it was a bank. They robbed the bank. Yeah, that's what it was. Robbed the bank, just blasting. And the cops were shooting back, but their handguns weren't powerful enough to pierce their armor. So they couldn't actually stop them. They couldn't actually prevent them from leaving or doing anything. So they just kept walking away, taking bullets from the police while firing back. The police got so desperate for firepower, they started, I believe they raided a nearby gun store for like shotguns and other items, and as well as like just trying to find anything with a higher caliber. And it was such a long, drawn-out shootout that post North Hollywood shootout, they started arming police officers much more heavily, like more firepower in their vehicles. It was crazy. The whole thing was captured on helicopter. In fact, the only reason it even ended is because one of the officers got a lucky shot on one of their ankles, because their ankle was slightly exposed, so they hit his ankle. He fell to the floor and knew he was going to be killed, so he took his own life. And then the other one, I think, got really desperate and just started walking at them or something like that. It was something like that. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. Thanks to Prime Megalodon.
The streamer reacts and is then met with a handgun being pointed at his face, and he screams. Alright, don't roast his scream, because I'm pretty sure if any of us were in that position, we would not know what to do. So I know you chuckled after that scream, and I did too. But like, let's not be too hard on that
a normal
scream. One of the thieves goes to keep his wife quiet, and you can hear the kids in the background. The other is beating the streamer repeatedly with brass knuckles, asking where the money is at. The streamer
How do people think
explains
it's
that he
fake,
doesn't
then?
have any money, but eventually I did find the name of the streamer, and that's TMoneyFG. It seems he doesn't stream anymore, and I couldn't find a YouTube channel, unless it's the one with 1 subscriber, but I doubt it. I also
Could
found
be.
his Twitter, and it's extremely botted. 16,000 followers and no likes on his recent tweet. Yeah, a little bit weird. You would think that if he faked this, he would at least gain clout from it. And if he faked it, I don't know if he would scream like that on purpose. Plus, why would you put your kids through something like this? I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's
a lot
fake.
of people were assuming that the wife set him up because she was too calm. That was stupid too. You can tell she's trying to stay calm for the kids. So
Seems like a
again,
weird
is
thing
this
to
real?
fake
Is this
if you don't
fake?
even
I
stream
really
anymore.
Can't tell. The video looked.
Someone found it. Found the streamer you're asking about. Look up Bees on My Head TV carjacking. He was banned for getting carjacked while viewers were trying to use the VOD to find the guy who robbed them. Twitch came out and clarified their policy in response, stating that streamers are responsible for anything shown on stream. That's exactly what I was thinking of. A carjacking. Not a shootout around cars. You're absolutely right. Did he ever get his account back? Because this is like really a hardline stance. Twitch suspended his account for behavior caught on camera and has since informed the streamer he won't be getting it back anytime soon. Thanks again,
Security
McLovin.
breach. No, not the Five Nights at Freddy's game. So 6 months ago, on October 6th, Twitch was hacked and a torrent
Oh,
file
hey,
containing
yeah,
around
this was the,
125 gigabytes worth of leaks appeared on 4chan, and
income
that
leak.
included source code, streamer earnings, encrypted passwords, and more. We bring to you today an extremely poggers leak. Twitch is an American video live streaming service that focuses on video game live streaming, including broadcast of esports competitions operated by Twitch Interactive, a subsidiary of Amazon.com. Their community is also a disgusting, toxic cesspool. Beginnings, mobile, desktop, and video game console Twitch clients, creator payouts from 2019 until now. Find out how much your favorite streamer is really making. And then they link.
Did they ever release
torrent
the
file.
second part
Jeff
to this?
Bezos paid $970 million for this, and we're giving it away for free. Hashtag do better Twitch. Though a bunch of stuff got
They
leaked,
didn't?
people mainly focused on how much their favorite streamers were making. I mean, your passwords were at stake, but people were, you know, kind of mad at XQC for being a millionaire, which we all know. We all know he's a millionaire.
No, that
Many
was a
people were
surprise
mad
to
at
everybody.
streamers saying they didn't make sense. It's really funny because a lot of Twitch streamers have their sub count like on the top of their head. They're letting
No,
me know how
that
much
doesn't
money
mean
they make.
anything,
It just
though.
takes a little bit of math. And they claimed that a part 2 was coming out, but that never happened. Many people just assume it was an ex-Twitch employee or a Twitch employee who knew they were going to be fired.
I
and
doubt
they
it
were
was
just
an
like,
ex-Twitch
all
employee.
right, before I go, I'm just going to end this off with a big bang. I'm sure you guys remember the whole Save the Kids thing.
Who could
It seemed
forget?
When crypto was, I wouldn't say at its peak, I would say at its peak popularity within the internet culture, there were a lot of influencers really taking advantage of this. This doesn't even count the NFT thing, right? This is crypto. Crypto and NFTs are very similar, but they are different, right? You buy
Shitcoins
NFTs with
versus
crypto, crypto's
NFTs,
just crypto.
shit
There were a
art.
lot of influencers promoting a bunch of scam coins, and once their fans would like buy the coins, they would quickly just take all the money, dip, leave the coin with no value. I mean, even Aiden Ross admitted to doing this.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a
Yeah, I
while back,
remember this one.
I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. How many of you guys actually bought it?
Oh my god.
Which was Ice Poseidon. Now, Ice Poseidon used to be a very
Yeah,
popular Twitch
we
streamer.
know this
In
one.
case you guys haven't heard of him, he's very popular for getting swatted. Yeah, that's what he's known for. He once got swatted on an airplane.
I actually don't know if I'm allowed to watch his story on Twitch. We all know this one, though. He openly admitted to stealing, what was it, 500, what was it, $300 or $500,000 from a shitcoin that he was pumping. Just very open. Watch it? I'll just explain it. I made a whole video on it when it happened. Ice Poseidon was pumping a shitcoin. Somehow his community bought into it. He ran away with 300 to 500,000. I don't remember what number it was, but it was somewhere in that ballpark. And he then went on CoffeeZilla's channel and openly said, yeah, I took the money. I was worried the coin was going to lose some value, so I thought I might as well take the money before it hit zero. And he was just very open and honest. And then CoffeeZilla said, hey, why don't you just give the money back since you still have it? I see it in your wallet. You could give the money back. And he said, I could, but I don't want to. Yep.